Hey. Should be live. Hello, hello.
I don't
Are we live?
see anything.
It doesn't. Oh, okay. It's just got a lag.
Are we
There
live?
we go.
It's a good thing. Hello, everybody. It's a good thing. Welcome. Welcome. We are live. Welcome everybody to the Wednesday stream. We got us something very special this week. We're actually doing a 50K AMA celebration. We have the entire Commander Clash crew all together to answer your questions. So we asked the YouTube community a couple weeks ago for questions, and we have a backlog, but we're also going to be taking questions live as well. So feel free to ask us basically anything Commander related, and we will try to answer. Or I mean, I guess MTG Goldfish related too. MTG Goldfish related / Commander related / whatever you want to hear from us. We are happy to answer your questions. And yeah, it could be aimed at any of us, including the editor Niutic, who's trolling the chat as well. And as
we're getting him on for an explicit behind the scenes.
Yes.
To spill the dirt.
Yes.
We have a montage of Tomer restarting every recording.
I swear.
We do not, but we should put one together.
Disconnects or anything, I spent way too much time on this overlay. I hope you appreciate it. Because it's barely hanging in there. Just the slightest error, and all of this overlay is gonna fall apart. I swear. It's the thinnest of technology here.
Wait, Tomer, I'm gonna derail us. Do you realize this layout is perfect for like a Clash on, like the Power Rangers, like they all show up on the screen and they Voltron. Like we gotta.
I need like some like that 90s CGI lightning, you know, like when we're about to do the Clash on. Yeah, there's potential on this overlay. I think I did a good
AMA
job.
On. You need a what is this?
All right, I'm doing a quick broadcast, but Richard, you'll kick things off by picking the first question as I broadcast that we are live on MTG Goldfish.
Well, no one's asking questions. Hold on.
Asking questions? That was the whole point of the AMA.
They're all just mocking your Cauldra.
What?
We gotta give them time to warm up, and there's probably some chat lag.
All right. That's fair. People are rolling in. All right, we are posting. We are live on the website. Kapow. All right, I did it.
All right.
I did all the things.
All right. I'll take the first question since a lot of people are asking about little scoops here. Son or daughter? His son. His name. Okay, you guys guess his name. It's actually based on a Magic card. And I'll give you guys hints. It was a great standard finisher in a control deck at one point. If someone has four mana open, you may not want to attack.
Settle the record.
My child, settle the record.
All right. Chat's gonna do you well. All right. Hold on. 4 mana. Don't attack into it.
All right.
Matthew Leduc's first one. Etherize. His name is Ether. So little Ether.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to make a Etherling deck or something at some point. But yeah, his name is Ether.
Wait,
He's
was that
doing
ever
well.
played in a control deck?
Etherling.
Etherling.
The greatest finisher.
Yeah, okay. Etherling was. Okay, my bad.
I guess Etherflux Reservoir was probably used as a finisher at some point, but
Commander.
He's 5 days old, doing well. He's already holding a little secret rendezvous. He's getting ready. At 6 months, he's gonna replace me on Commander Clash. See if he can school you guys.
Oh yeah, big thanks for Richard for popping in today. I can imagine 5-day-old kid, not a lot of sleep, so if you have to pop out, that is totally understandable as well.
I don't need sleep anymore. I've evolved beyond that.
You've evolved. Nice. All right, do we have any questions yet? How do I enter the raffle for the plants? All right, I'll take this one. So the plans, first of all, are fine. People keep asking if the plants are alive or not. They're alive, despite my best efforts. They're fine. They get a lot of sun, and I remember to water them maybe once every other week. So they're chilling. They've been alive for 2 years, which is a record. And am I going to be giving them away in the mail? No. But we might have some sort of giveaway that is plant related to be announced. It's in the works. That's all I will say. It is in the works.
Are you actually going to give away the plant?
That's what I was going to say. Are you trying to get out of this, Tomer?
No, that was all the plan.
I feel like you're actually going to give away the plant.
That was the plan.
50,000 people subbed, and you're going to keep the plant? Oh, no.
I don't want them. They've been alive just because I wouldn't hear the end of it because of chat. Like,
I think
can you show us your room full of backup plants?
I genuinely believe your plants are still alive because they're too angry to die.
I've killed a cactus before. I've done it. All right. This is a miracle that they're alive.
Has anyone seen the plants up close? Are they artificial plants? They're far enough away that I can't actually see.
They're fine. This is what you get on the 50K version. You can see they are alive and very real. They even have a lot of brown spots, which I assume is signs of health, right? So yeah, there it is.
All right. I got a good question here. Mega Magikarp, how much money to get set to eat food that isn't the diet of a 6-year-old?
A lot.
What have you been exposing to chat? What is your favorite food? What is everyone's favorite food?
I told chat about us going to the buffet in Vegas, where Krim really wanted to go to like the real Vegas buffet. So we waited in line, and it was like super expensive. And then me and Krim, like, there's like all the food in the world. It's like rooms full of it. And we're like looking for the French fries and the pizza. And then Richard got like so mad about like, what are you guys doing? We just spent like however much money to do this, and you could have went to the pizzeria down the street and got a slice of pizza and been just as happy.
That's what I learned. Next Goldfish team meeting is at In-N-Out. You know, they're like, yeah, let's do the Vegas buffet experience, baby. And then they go eat French fries, and I'm like, oh my goodness, we paid $100 a person and like waited for like 4 hours to eat French fries.
But unlimited?
Okay.
Yeah, but like if the fries are good, it's worth it, right?
It's also one of the best foods out there. Wait, there was unlimited pizza, like a buffet.
It's a buffet. You get unlimited.
Yeah.
You get unlimited steak,
Phil knows.
roast beef, lobster, crab, like anything. Anything.
I'm still disgusted at that. We went to Las Vegas and I found out that in America you serve steaks for breakfast. That still blows my mind.
Oh, wait,
it's incorrect.
Nice.
Incorrect.
That's incorrect.
I have steak.
Nice.
You mean chicken fried steak?
Yeah, chicken. What the heck?
Wait, what?
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah.
Those are still good.
It's so weird.
Wait, is it chicken or steak?
No. So it's
fried.
it's a thin steak that's fried like fried chicken. So it's battered and then deep fried.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's criminal.
Oh yeah, Phil's German.
pretty-
He's not gonna
that's
understand
pretty
any of
good.
this.
Yeah, I don't. I'm
It's
maybe
so
not.
good. It is
It's like
really
the
good.
schnitzel or whatever.
It's
like
so weird.
It's so good. No.
Right.
Like it
Hey,
sounds
that's
kind of
super
weird,
good, yeah.
but like legitimately, it is some of the most delicious stuff you could ever have.
Yeah, it sounds pretty nice, actually.
No. Oh, I have to get my mind off of steak fried chicken or whatever.
They have it in Some
questions.
Canadians chime in. They must have it in Canada. I do not
No.
believe this is somehow
No.
avoided Canada.
Absolutely not. All right. Back to the commander or the goldfish questions. Very quick one. Scotsman1205 asks when the next viewer submitted commander clash will be. We're actually going to be announcing it not this week because we forgot, but next week. We're going to be recording a game tomorrow, and we're going to announce the viewer submitted. So you're gonna it will be next week Friday, and then you'll have until the week after Wednesday. Prim, do you have
about a week?
Yeah,
There's a question here, top chat. It's I would like to know if Phil is officially a permanent member of the Fishbowl. We all love Phil, thank you, and would love confirmation. Yes, I am part of the Goldfish team, and I'm pretty hyped about it. Yeah.
And thanks for the
that's
5,
the answer.
Adrian, too.
Yeah, thanks for the 5 as well. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to miss this.
Sick. All right. We're getting some questions now. Krim, did you find any that you liked?
I did not, because I'm getting used to the whole idea of YouTube chat. This is so different to me.
This is too foreign.
Wait, how's that? Oh, I have a question for you, Krim. How is YouTube chat different than Twitch chat? Isn't it very similar? What's the big difference?
The big difference to me is, honestly, like, I'm used to like emotes and things like that, and all this. So it's like I have to and then I have to shift my head fully over, and it's just like the layout, because I'm not logged into the YouTube page, right? I'm essentially in the viewer chat. So like this is like, for me to like read this, I have to like turn my head all the way over. And then look back at you.
Someone asked Krim a question with only emotes. If you'd like Krim to answer, emotes only, please.
It's in the form of a question. To respond to emotes.
Doesn't YouTube chat have emotes? I don't know.
I don't know.
There's okay.
Okay, I see one. I'm just gonna pick the first one I see.
Yeah.
Question to Krim: has there been a really good Grixis commander you enjoyed in the past year? All of them. Like, to be a little more specific, I always like Nicol Bolas, the Ravager, because it allows you to play whatever you want. Super Friends, you can play Control, you can play Dragons, you could even play Rogues randomly. Okay, wait, when did YouTube get emotes? Also, J Moriarty 99, $5 dono. Ooh. Or is that a donation, or is that a sub? Is there a sub? I don't even know.
Donation.
Krim. Oh, see, I nailed it. Krim, when and how did green hurt you? Pretty much since always. Whether it was in Standard, my competitive days, I've always hated every Nissa that's ever printed because they've always been the bane of my existence. World Waker used to body me. Of course, Nissa Who Shakes the World has bodied me. And then, of course, there's Oko, Hydroid, Krasis, all the all-stars, all the underpowered cards from Simic.
That's a recent thing, right? What's the oldest? World Waker?
The oldest goes back to probably let me see. Louise, that it has been a while. I mean, there's definitely Modern Ponza, right? Modern Ponza was annoying. But the last time I played that was like at a team GP where nobody was playing it then, and I got all my lands destroyed. On our I wasn't playing around it. It was a team GP. I was like, okay, well, what are the odds that I get paired against a Ponza player? Right, sure, I get bodied by them, and then I'm like, okay, what are the odds I get paired against them again? I didn't. I did. So I lost, and it was my fault. Our team failed. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, like, on the spot, I've hated green pretty far back though. Even down to like Onslaught days, because even tabletop-wise, Silvos had Regenerate, and believe it or not, Regenerate was a thing back then. Okay, Regenerate was terrifying.
I don't believe any of this anymore. You tell me Regenerate
was the truth. Regenerate was the truth before Damnation.
Okay. I actually remember. I remember Thread the Last Troll Regenerating was a big pain.
I hated that card. Oh,
fair magic card, all right.
I hated Carnage Tyrant. Now as I start thinking about it, like, I realize I've hated almost every Gaia's Revenge. That card was annoying. So
we should have like an all green week, and we bring back especially for that episode.
I'm definitely going to
all play through.
I'm definitely going
you made me play Chaos Week twice. All right, I need to have a Nissa week or something.
That's called fun. That's just actually fun.
Corel, thanks for the 5, by the way. Because you gave us a 5, I will ask Krim the question. Has Krim told the other Goldfish members about my Goblin deck?
The Mind Goblin? Oh, gee. Seth, do you know about the Mind Goblin?
Yeah. Thanks to Twitch chat a couple of weeks ago.
Okay, I
learned about the Mind Goblin deck.
We acknowledge the question.
Richard does it. Yeah.
Do I need to know? Is this?
Do you know about the Mind Goblin?
No, what is the Mind Goblin?
You don't know about the Mind Goblin. Okay, well, everyone just say what it is to yourself in your head, because I'm not going to finish that.
Already did.
All right.
I can't get Richard. I can't get Richard.
RPG store.
Richard just had a kid, you know, he got, like no sleep, so it's like he's gonna walk right into it. Chat, come on.
By the way,
come on, chat.
I'm adding a bunch of I'm queuing up questions on the sheets to the group. By the way, we're seeing the questions. I'm picking some. Don't let me take over though. But I do have a question. Okay, this is a question. I don't know if Richard wants to ask. Richard, do you want to answer this one? The Brendan question.
No idea what you're talking about.
What's the origin story of MTG Goldfish? I don't know this actually.
I can tell you the origin story of MTG Goldfish.
Yeah.
And how did y'all know each other before you started working together? So we can go over the origin story and then how we all came to join Goldfish. I'll let you guys tell your stories. But basically, I played Magic as a kid, as a child, and then I stopped playing in high school. In university, one of my friends played, so I started playing again, and that's when I learned about like Magic theory. And like I watched like old Pro Tours, like downloading like real media videos from the Magic website and watching like the Nassif plays and stuff like that. And then I kind of stopped, graduated, went to work, and then at work I met a friend who played Magic, and this was Innistrad. And that's when I got into like actual Magic now. I went to FNM and I played a standard deck. My first deck was a Goblin deck, a mono red Goblin deck. This was when what was it, Goblin Chieftain, the one that gives haste, was in standard. And then I was like, I'm a big min-maxer, so whenever I play any game, like I play with a spreadsheet essentially, right? Like I don't play the game, right? So when I'm playing like Diablo 3, I'm playing in the auction house, you know, like I'm sitting there like theory crafting, like crunching numbers. So Goldfish originally started as a way to simulate playing Magic, to figure out like what the optimal like hands to keep is. It was like really like data analytics. And then I threw up some prices because I needed to know when to buy cards, because back then we used to have like PTQs, and then cards would spike when PTQs come around, like PTQ season, and then they would drop off. So I needed to graph pricing data to figure out when to buy cards, because I didn't want to spend money on Magic cards. So I published that, and that was the beginning of Goldfish. So that part, no one cared about my like data science, but everyone cared about prices. So we started posting prices, and then we started posting decks. So people wanted to see decks, so we started posting decks, metagame analysis, and we were all into like MTG finance back in the day, because that was kind of like the prevalent thing, like how to buy cards for cheap. And you had stories of, you know, Underground Sea going up, like, you know, if you bought some Underground Seas and, you know, sit on them, they'd be worth a lot. And that is when I met Seth. So Seth can tell his story of where Seth came from.
Dun, dun, dun.
So I actually met Richard through Reddit. I was writing like expected value articles. Some of the articles that you were on the site for a long time too. They're a lot harder to do now because of like collector boosters and stuff. Like it's almost, I think Wizards wants it to be impossible to calculate the EV of things now. So it's really, really hard. But I was writing like just EV breakdowns for myself because I was curious, like, is it worth it to buy a box? Like, I love opening packs. So I'm like, am I going to lose a ton of money if I go buy a box of Rise of the Eldrazi or whatever, like old set it was? So I was doing it for myself. And I was like, well, maybe this would be helpful for other people. So I started posting it on Reddit and people kind of liked it. And then one day Richard messaged me, and I'm pretty sure he sent me a message, and I don't remember exactly what it said, but it was something like, hey, I do this MTG Goldfish site. I'm going to add content to it. Like, what do you think about doing like kind of the same thing you're doing here, writing some of those articles for the site? And I didn't really know MTG Goldfish or Richard at the time, so I'm pretty sure that I didn't respond to his first message actually. And then he emailed me again or messaged me again through Reddit a few days later, and I was like, okay, this is like probably a real thing. So I wrote him back and started kind of just writing random financy articles for the site, and it kind of grew from there more or less, where then a few months later we started doing like Budget Magic, I think was the first video series, and then it just snowballed into everything, streams and other video series and everything we do today. Who was
right, so that,
and Krim was next, right?
Yeah.
I think I was the next. What?
Tomer was next.
Oh, wait.
Was next.
Oh, as far as okay, Krim was next
So,
as like a
as long as like
full-time
chronologically
employee.
showing up on Goldfish. Tomer, do you remember your origin story?
Yeah. So I started getting into content creation in the beginning of university. I think it was first year university. Or no, I know it was in high school. It was in high school. I started in high school. I started writing Pauper, about Pauper. I got really into Pauper. I was dirt poor, so I did not play like modern, or I don't know, even modern. Did modern exist? I don't know. In like 2008, I don't know. I was playing Pauper and I was writing about Pauper and I was super invested into it. And then when Commander came out, I started switching basically all my content, all my interest went from Pauper Unlimited to basically Commander Unlimited. So I started writing for Pure MTGO regularly for Pauper and Commander. And then I noticed that this MTG Goldfish site was kind of like popping off. I really liked what they were doing, and like the layout design and basically the prices and everything was like so ahead of everything else at the time. Like it was incomparable. And I noticed that like people were writing. I think Seth was like the only person I noticed contributing articles. Maybe there was somebody else as well. But I noticed like, there were a couple articles going up, and I just emailed Richard. I was like, hey, I write about Commander on Pure MTGO. Can I start writing Commander stuff for you? And he said yes. And so I started doing that basically whenever I wanted to. And that led to more and more regular Commander content. The budget commanders was the first thing. Like every single thing I did was basically budget commander. It was like make a Talrand deck for $20, make a Kalia deck for $50 or whatever like that, and trying to optimize it. And that led to Commander Clash, and then led to other regular stuff. And then here we are. We have a new channel that it's dedicated to Commander. It's 2 years old now, I think, almost 2 years old, in a year and a half. We just hit 50K, so like, yeah, now I'm full time. It was quite the wild ride.
Funny side note. Commander was really small back, right? Like we were in there like way early.
Yeah.
Funny Goldfish trivia. I think Richard will remember this for sure. When you first started adding content to the site, your original idea was having to be like better Reddit, sort of, right? So like anyone could make articles, but you had more tools, and that's how it started. But then there was like, I remember one person, I don't even remember their name, but there was someone who got like super salty with the like comments or something, and then you realize it was maybe not a good idea to do it that way. Like, but that was an initial idea, right? Where anyone could publish an article in the very earliest days.
Yeah, we even have professor articles. We
What?
actually published. He didn't write an article, but we published his videos on the website. If you look back long enough, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, like we go way back with Professor. So next up is Krim. Krim, do you remember your origin story?
Yeah. I think this was back when we played at our LGS all the time. Richard and I actually played against each other numerous times, but I didn't know who Richard was. I just knew that he was always on Jund, so I knew that I just kept a hand that was good against Jund, which was any hand. But like, which was any hand. Okay, to be serious though, I mean, you had to respect Goif back then. So, but yeah, like I had played against Richard, and at that point, I remember everyone was like running like Fatal Push and stuff like that, but no one like really ran that much like that many Kolaghan's commands. And like I think our first time playing, I was playing a blue-black deck that was 4 tech edges, 4 spreading seas. I was trying to hate out Tron, and I played 4 Shadow of Doubt, and I just Shadow of Doubted Richard a ton, and then Snapcastered, and then I eventually Mystical Teaching for Torrential Gear Hulked. So
that's the most
after
thing I've ever heard. What?
Yep, and like it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny to me, and then like from there on, I just had seen Richard every week because I felt bad because I think like our one. Well, I didn't feel bad. It was pretty funny. I just remembered Richard because I had played so many Shadow of Doubts against him and all of that stuff. And then eventually that kind of led to just us randomly getting paired again. And the next time I was on Fairies, and we just kept getting paired against each other. Back then, I was constantly putting standard cards into Modern, which is now the norm. But back then, believe it or not, standard cards weren't good in Modern, all right? So that from that, we just kind of like remembered each other from that, and then kind of kept in touch. And then that kind of led to eventually Richard approaching me on it like through email, I believe. We talked through emails, and Richard did his whole "I'm here to talk to you about your extended car warranty," and then I bought on.
Did he sell you on oil? Car oil?
I remember Krim really
so
jives with the Goldfish brand. Like he always plays to have fun. He always has fun, which is I think very important. Like I don't remember if you remember Krim, but at the LGS there are a lot of serious people.
Oh yeah,
like very, very serious business going on. And then Krim was like, "Let me play this stupid energy finisher." I'm like, I don't even know what this card does. I gotta read it, and it just like wrecks my face. I'm like, okay, this is good. This is good. So it was always a fun time to see what stupid standard card he would play, because I would play super standard cards as well.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of Modern, just to play standard cards in it and to get people. So
Yeah, and like people like just weren't prepared. Like standard answers, like things to answer like standard threats in Modern weren't great then. So it's just like, crap. All right, sure.
All right, and then came Brewer's Kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
where did Kitchen come from?
So Brewer's Kitchen started pretty much when Corona started. I think actually it might overlap with me joining Facebook groups and seeing that people build terrible decks. Not to roast any Facebook users here, but the deck list posts in Facebook groups are like crazy. And I began writing like, oh, no, you gotta cut this and this and this. And then I started writing like almost like articles, but more like deck suggestions for like artisan events on Arena and stuff. And then when Corona hit, I thought, well, now I have the time, I might as well start a YouTube channel, because I did study communications design, as it's called. It's not really editing. Like I didn't edit in my studies. I did animate a lot. Basically animation is my focus. But editing is not too far off from this. So I thought, well, I might just start a YouTube channel, called it Brewer's Kitchen. And I remember in the beginning I had almost no views, as you would expect for any new channel. But I thought my content was too exhausting to produce to not get any views. So I actually just asked my favorite content creators what they would suggest me to do with this content. And Seth, actually, the real madman, just shouted me out on Twitter. And then I think it was on Easter Sunday or something, somewhere around Easter. I remember my Twitter suddenly popping off, and I got like, back then, it was kind of crazy to me. It's not huge numbers now, but I got like 300 subscribers on my YouTube channel. And that's when I thought, well, I'm going to do that now. And then like a week later, maybe that's when I thought, now that it's legit, I started making the YouTube channel my bachelor thesis and started analyzing my analytics and pretty much just write down everything I found in my analytics and try to, give like a behind the scenes look in a niche content creator as my bachelor thesis. And then I finished this, and then I got a job as a web developer, like website designer, and that's awful. And then I asked Richard, hey, you all need some content pretty much. And it worked. And I'm pretty happy that I'm not designing websites, because you can go on Fiverr and get that way cheaper than my German wages here. It's like this whole scene of web design is kind of dying, because you can't just hire somebody from India and have to pay him way less than me here in Germany. That's why I thought
I spent
might
like
as well
$50
chase the dream.
for my WordPress plugin. All right, it took me that was some big money.
$50. They have to pay me like minimum wage here.
Yeah.
Which is a bit more than $50, and their website isn't like better. They do the same work as I would do. So I just thought, might as well chase the dream, and here I am now. And it's pretty cool to see that people enjoy my content. I'm in a bit of a weird position, since I really studied for a long time, and I did a lot of video projects, not editing, but a lot of comedy, animation shorts and stuff. So that definitely influences my content style. And it's kind of cool that people watch it. Yeah, that's pretty much how it went down. There's probably more to say, but that's the story so far. And now I'm playing Commander.
So we got
a lot of super chats, Tomer. Yeah, do you want to go through them?
Yes.
So we got that was one question. We got a lot over that. There's a couple that are overlapping. So Josh, Rodrigo, Marmar, you're all quite. There's a bunch of people who are asking the same question. It's like, is there going to be new merchandise? I don't think, Richard, there's no plans for like a store, right? I think store's out, but like we're getting new merchandise.
An actual physical store?
Yeah,
like Channel Fireball, like a card store.
Are you gonna have like an open sign on your garage?
You can sell Richard's singles.
Yeah.
If you want to come by to my house, I will sell you some Jun singles. But we may have limited stock, but no real shop.
Yeah.
But if LGS was right on the downside, it'd be cool to have a little LGS, but like we're not close by, so like we can't have an office LGS. So yeah. No.
But a lot of people were asking like, is there new merch on the way? It was a lot of the questions. So I'm just gonna say yes, but we're not announcing anything yet. But we're announcing that there is going to be more soon that we're working on. Nailed it. Oops. If I wasn't supposed to say that, oops.
It's card sleeves, me dressed up as Nissa running around like that.
Don't give them many plans that you haven't.
I'm
seen
sure I
off
don't need to give them the idea. I see you, chat. I see you.
Okay, Douglas Whitaker with the super chat. Who's been playing Magic the longest?
Not me.
Richard?
I've played since Ice Age.
Krim?
No way.
Younger than us. Me and Richard are around the same age, but you played when you were a kid and I didn't, so it's got to be.
I played during like revised era, right? So I actually played with those cards, but I didn't play continuously until now. I think Krim has actually played like in terms of years of time.
I mean, yes.
Like, what set did you start, Krim?
Oh, I guess so. Then I've just played pretty much since like I think Odyssey all the way to now.
Yeah,
I don't even know which stuff came out when. So
somebody with the $10.
I started Innistrad Forward. Innistrad Forward is when I like seriously played Magic and continued to play Magic the whole time.
I won an F&M whenever the Ristic stuff was out. I forget what that was. Not Onslaught.
Oh, Prophecy.
That's
Prophecy.
Yeah, I remember being an F&M. I was like the only. I don't even know how old I was whenever it came out. I was the youngin, and I had like my Ristic Snakes and Rishadan Airports and stuff. I was playing Blue Tempo and I crushed. That was really good. Withdraw.
Oh, that's such a cool deck title. Rishadan Airport, like flyers with the board?
Yeah, it's called Blue Skies. Oh. The deck was called
that's
Blue
such
Skies.
a cool title.
Yeah, I got it from a magazine. I forget what it was. Oh my goodness. Okay.
We're not done, Tomer.
What?
Phil.
Oh, sorry.
Did you start playing?
Sorry.
It's kind of hard to say for me. So I started in Onslaught block, I think just before Scourge released. I had a Legion starter deck.
Yeah.
Like the Sliver deck. And then I played until just before Lorwyn. I remember that Time Spiral block was by far and probably still is the most interesting Magic set I've ever seen. And I kind of wish we could go back to this, but I guess we can't. But then I went over to Warhammer 40k and kind of lost track of Magic. But you know how it is as a Magic player. Whenever you see like a video pop off or go to the attic and find your cards, you're always back in the game immediately. So it's like on, off. There's some blocks that I played, some that I didn't. And then at some point...
When did you come back, like, seriously? Like, full-time?
Like full-time, super, now I have a job and can actually afford these cards was like Khans of Tarkir block. I moved away from home and went to a new city, started drafting at the LGS, and actually, yeah, with a job you can actually buy these cards, so it's way more fun. Yeah, and then since then I had like one quick hiatus. I think just for I think it was in Rivals of Ixalan, which isn't too far away. I think this block I skipped, and then I went to, I don't know, something like this. Like
Played
on
Fortnite,
off.
and then you came back. All right, we got you.
I remember playing like I played a lot of Breath of the Wild as well then I got into Fortnite, and then I got Magic, and Smash Bros has always been. I've done this all the time until I didn't have a Switch and the new Smash Bros came out. Otherwise, I play a lot of. I mean, I studied for like how many semesters, so I did a lot of things that are not studying. So a lot of video games. I played a lot of games.
All right, Seth. I was there.
Ravnica, original Ravnica, and I never played as a kid. I started original Ravnica, and I just have played ever since.
You've been playing way longer than that.
Seth looks like a grizzly veteran, but he's not. He actually never played as a kid.
I didn't play as a kid. I never pid as. I wouldn't be allowed to play as a kid.
He's an MTG boomer, but he's not. He's a young pup.
I mean, Ravnica's like almost 20 years ago now.
Still a young pup. All right, whippersnappers.
I've been losing money for so long.
was there or was there not damage on the stack when you played, Seth? All right.
There was damage on the stack. Okay. Oh my god.
OG Ravnica, I don't.
Did you still get mana burned? All right, Seth. When you tap too much mana.
Yes.
Okay.
Upwelling.
Okay.
Phil, you remember that card, Upwelling?
Yeah, I remember Upwelling.
Wait. How did you get into Magic then? If you didn't start as a kid, I just started because my brother played it.
When I was in college, one of my roommates showed up one day with like a big box of cards that were in his mom's basement or something.
Oh, nice.
And that's how I first started playing and learned to play, was from that. Yeah.
Oh, this is so sweet. If you just have a box of Magic cards and it's like the purest form of kitchen table Magic.
Oh, it was so much fun. The decks were so bad, but it was so much fun.
I think I was in like elementary school or like middle school, and my friend just had like 6 different starter decks, and they were all in like the Judgment deck box with like Phantom Tiger or whatever. I can't remember the green white one. And then like of course he put all the rares into his deck and then gave us all the crappy ones to play with. But whatever, right? And then that kind of led. I think my first deck was like 80 cards, 13 lands, and like 9 drops.
I always played 20 lands back then, which is it's like the Facebook deck lists. It's like somehow people don't.
Schoolyard rules. I don't know if you did this, Phil, but schoolyard rules. You could just go get a land. We just tutored for a land every turn.
No, we just took a lot of mulligans, which were out of the mulligan rules.
I think I have a similar origin story to Krim. I also was a blue player who hated green because my brother needed a person to play Magic against. So he gave me a shoebox of the cards he didn't play with. He had a like sweet mono red Goblin Shivan Dragon deck, and he's like, "Here, I made you this crappy green deck with like Iron Tree Treefolk or Ironwood Treefolk or whatever, like 4 5s or 6." And I just got smashed over and over again. I'm like, green sucks. So I took his like trash cards. I made a Merfolk deck with Lord of Atlantis and stuff, and I just tempoed him out, and he got really upset. And then I moved from there to like playing more serious, like FNMs and stuff. So yeah. We have a lot of
super chat from Wester for $5. I'm begging you, please make an Arrested Development themed commander deck for Clash. If you don't, you've made a huge mistake.
I will keep that at the top of the list for
for next TV. You gotta do TV week or something now, right?
Next TV week, sitcom week. Yeah, no, that's a really good choice. There could be a good Arrested Development commander deck, I think.
Yeah. You got to have something to represent a new start, though. Also, Paul Dyson. I see you've commented 2 music questions. A, what's my favorite Misfits song, and why is it Ghouls Night Out? It's actually not that. It's American Nightmare. But cool song. And then second off, that's awesome. They were let's see here. They were at the last My Chemical Romance show in 2006 for Black Parade, and that's rad. I think I went to that tour. I did just get tickets to go see them again, so I'm pretty excited.
I'm also going to say, Thomas, thanks for the super chat. You just said, just wanted to say thanks for making Commander Clash. Love the show. No real question. Seth, continue to not pay the one. No, Thomas, no. Also,
no problem.
Crim, please Narset wheel them all just once. No. What is this?
No,
Thomas, please.
He's already done it. He's already done it.
Thomas,
I
please.
have not Narset wheeled.
I know.
You did.
Got close.
You did it.
I have played a
Week.
Narset and a wheel.
You wanted to.
I'm pretty sure you've Narset wheeled. I'm pretty sure that
I
happened
have
at least once.
He's tried
something
to.
weird.
No, Chaos Week. I had Narset activated, found a wheel.
Editor, do you remember?
Trust me, I would know. I would have been lit up in the comments if I did.
Did someone else Narset wheel? I feel we've been Narset wheeled on Clash before,
I wouldn't.
but maybe it was someone else.
Thank you, Neatuck. Thank you. See, not successfully.
I have a question for Phil from Charles Frey. Phil, what skin do you use in Fortnite? I don't know what that means, but
I usually do use either the hippie chick or the yoga instructor chick. One of these two. I don't know. I don't usually buy new skins, but these, or like the monkey suit. Yeah, that's the ones. Really unrelated
not
questions.
LeBron James. You got to use the LeBron James or the. Thanos.
I like there's a Bruno Mars skin out. This one's funny. Oh, there's so many.
LeBron James.
Every time I hear this, this sounds amazing.
Legitimately,
it actually is pretty fun.
It's hilarious watching LeBron James fight like Sasuke and like all the Naruto.
Oh yeah, the Naruto stuff.
And I'm just like, what's going on?
Here's a question.
Speaking of Fortnite, Maddie T, $5. What games, hobbies, pastimes do you guys enjoy when not playing Magic? So Seth, what are your pastimes?
Well, Magic mostly. But if that doesn't count, I like Civilization. Game-wise, I like Civilization a lot. That's probably the non-Magic game that I've spent the most hours on. Recently, I've been playing Storybook Brawl, which I found kind of addicting. The auto battler. I played Hearthstone Battlegrounds for a little while, and then played Storybook Brawl. And then I like music a lot. Playing music and listening to music, anything, going to concerts, anything music related. So those are probably the big non-Magic pastimes.
Oh, there was one side question, a follow-up from Danny Dagon from the Super, but he did ask about music for Seth. He's like, would you ever start a channel about music?
That's if you when I did Humans of Magic podcast a few weeks ago, one of the questions I asked is like, what would you do if you weren't doing Magic or something? And I think that might be what it is. I could definitely imagine having a music YouTube channel of some kind, like reviewing albums, weird music that I like or something. So I don't think I have the time to do it right now, but someday that could be I think that'd be super fun. So possibly in the future.
Okay. What about everybody else's?
Homer, what do you do when you're not playing Magic?
I don't have a life.
Are you watering plants?
Watering the plants. I play other video games. I used to play, if you asked me this like a couple years ago, I used to say I mythic rated in World of Warcraft, which I don't recommend doing. But
yo, nice.
I used to. Yeah. And what do I do now?
Are you there yet in Final Fantasy? Are you Savage rating yet?
No, man. I can't do MMOs anymore. I'm off MMOs. I'm done. I'm washed up.
All right.
Yeah, I used to do co-ed. I used to do volleyball and stuff before the pandemic. Hopefully that's picking up soon. I just started rock climbing a little bit, which I'm excited to do a little bit more, especially now that a lot of the restrictions have been lifted. And I just started playing Elden Ring, which is super fun. I can't wait to actually play some of it tonight, hopefully, if I have a chance. Some video games, mostly. Yeah. What about everybody else?
Crim, what do you do when you're not sleeping nor playing Magic?
Well, first off, yes, I noticed that some of you have pointed this out. It's daytime, the sun is out. Why is Crim awake? Fair assessment. Yeah. Well, yeah, it is like not for Phil, but here the sun is bright and early. But yeah, like when I'm not playing Magic, I think I have too many hobbies. I think that's my problem. I love video games of all sorts. Whether or not I'm good at them, that's a different story. Like I'm professionally bad at Valorant. And then so like I've broke lava spikes in chat. Like I've had a few in my chat here who have gifted me essentially a new mouse because I've shattered my mouse from Valorant. Which is why I'm so my salt meter, I'm able to handle so much in Magic because Hearthstone and Valorant and FPSs have taught me how to find zen and peace. Okay. but yeah, so like it's music, it's video games. I'm in love with. I went to school for film, so I love movies. And then of course, there's anime, lots and lots of anime. I even tried to get Seth to watch anime at MTG Vegas a few years back with Richard. We sat there and we watched anime together. And it was an experience. I wouldn't say it was like the best anime to start Seth on, but like we watched anime.
Weird anime to watch.
But it was some
really
okay.
Over
the top weird anime.
We don't need to talk about what we watched. Right?
You gotta start him on Cowboy Bebop. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, yeah. Like Cowboy Bebop is where we should start, but we got Seth in the trenches of weird.
What? I started anime with Full Metal Alchemist. I think that is like, or does that set the bar too high? Like that got me hooked pretty easy.
Oh yeah, I mean, like that's a great one. There's also like Trigun. There's so many things, right? Like and like there's just so much anime. I would love to have Seth watch Evangelion and just review that. I just want to know what Seth thinks about Evangelion. The movie Evangelion, even like any of
without watching the TV show, you just go straight into the movie.
I don't know. You don't. Okay, that's a whole nother topic. But yeah, I have too many hobbies.
Okay.
I only have pretty much. Like if I had
Marmar, I have no idea what that is.
What about Richard? Richard, what do you do? What do you do outside of Magic?
My current hobby is sleep. But prior to that, I just play mostly video games now. I play Genshin Impact. So you're gonna.
Richard,
Grim is a shamble. No. Yeah, I play the Weave. It's
free to play.
I don't know how to describe it. It's a gacha game. Magic.
You have to just game?
You basically pour endless money into it for RNG pulls. But I play free to play. But it's like an anime Breath of the Wild, people like to describe it as. It's actually pretty big. The company actually made this IP out of nowhere. It made like $1 billion in the first year, which is actually insane. But I watch League of Legends. I watch a lot of LCS. And when Worlds comes around, I watch Worlds. In the pre-COVID times, I used to do a lot of rock climbing. I guess pre-baby time, I used to do rock.
You're bouldering too, Richard? We could swap tips and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We gotta go do a bouldering trip or something.
Oh my
right?
god! Next time we're in Vegas or something, we gotta do it.
Yeah,
outside. Why?
A lot of hiking. I like hiking. So yeah.
I like hiking too.
Homer, we're like bestest buddies. But for some reason, you don't like Secret Rendezvous.
I don't like Secret Rendezvous. I mean, my friendship has a limit. I also forgot to mention I love D&D. Like, I don't know how I blanked on that, but like D&D is like my biggest hobby. I think more than Magic, I would say even. I'm surprised. I love D&D to death, and I play a lot of D&D. Just shout out.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up.
Yeah, I usually just go skating if I have the free time and if my body allows it, because a lot of people have been asking how old we are. I'm 28 and I feel that I'm getting older in skating because I can skate for like 1.5 hours and then the next day it's like a hangover in my legs. I can't move them.
It's skateboarding.
Doesn't
right?
Tony Hawk skates?
I know,
yeah,
he's like
Tony
60
like
or something.
He's like,
he's gotta be. His video game came out in like the 90s.
He just broke his femur bone. Don't remind me. The legend.
Okay, don't do that. But
yeah, I'm like maybe I got a few pounds too many or something. It's just really hard on my legs. You basically just ride around and do jumps all the time, and it's fun. And you have loud music, so you don't realize how exhausting it is. But just try running around doing like deep and high jumps for like 1.5 hours. It's pretty exhausting. But otherwise,
Phil,
yeah, pretty much just video games and this.
I feel that
I have a question for you specifically.
Wait,
that.
Phil, I thought you were like 19. Yeah, I can't grow a beard. I'm sorry, that's pretty much it.
I mean, you gotta grow. Like, trust me, when you get to my age, you can grow one quite nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, Phil, I do have a question. What do you listen to when you skate outside of anime intros music?
I don't listen to anime intro music. I usually listen to...
Better be the Tony Hawk original soundtrack, or else.
Usually like real bangers. Like I listen to a lot of indie when I'm not like indie and just chill stuff like Dota and stuff like real slow music. But when I'm skating, I listen to like metalcore, trap, hip hop, everything that slaps. I gotta keep that hype going and fight through the pain if I eat the ground. Like yeah, pretty much very aggressive music. That's a good way to describe it.
Can you give us?
You should
one
try
band?
skating to anime OSTs. I'm not joking. Like, dude, have you heard anime intros? You would like it. You don't even. I don't know. I don't understand all of it. But like, dude, I'm gaming. I'm flying. I'm flying. Like, I'm biking. I'm skating. Whatever.
No, one band would be like, I don't know. It might sound a little cliche, but I do like Bring Me the Horizon when it comes to metal. It's super basic, I know, but it slaps. When it comes to electro, probably like Sun Holo, Duels, pretty niche. I don't know. Electro is so big these days. You can say. I don't know. I just listen to my playlist.
That's a good segue, actually, because I know somebody asked us a question about music. Y2K asked top 3 albums. What about just like top 1 album?
Top 1 album? So
just an album you listen to. How about that?
Your top 1 album. I like top the way that's worded.
Just an album you
top
like. Or artists?
Blaine out there bringing up Chiodos. Dang, dude. Oh, man. I haven't heard Chiodos in a while.
Oh, I remember these. Yeah. They had some bangers as well.
Okay, so I think I'm going to go with a recent album for me. And I've been... Well, I never really got away from my old middle school music or like the music I listened to. I just added on, right? So, but like when the pandemic hit, I kind of reverted back and started listening to just things that I listened to a while back. So I started listening to The Story So Far again, and The Story So Far is like the perfect day-to-day, like just like run around, get stuff done, and it's just like, I don't know, pop punk.
The hard part for me is like narrowing it down to an album or even 3 albums. I'm gonna go with I guess I gotta shout out Ween and go with Chocolate and Cheese by Ween. Although also Trout Mask Replica by Captain Beefheart, Rain Dogs by Tom Waits, Velvet Underground and Nico. There's a huge list. I could do a whole YouTube channel about albums that I like, and maybe I will someday.
What about the spring album from Weezer, Seth?
Homer, oh my god.
Okay, Human?
That doesn't exist. Nothing Weezer made after 2004 exists, in my opinion.
I think they only get better.
I don't know any of those words. I still think you're trolling me with it. I still don't believe that anyone authentically holds a position. The new Weezer is good. So I still think this is just the long troll.
I think people go watch new Weezer or watch Weezer, but get debated because they, like what happens is they play only new stuff now, right?
Good.
And they probably stuff. Play are like okay, Tomer is trolling.
If they play their old stuff, they probably get
Tomer is trolling. There's no way.
You gotta give them what they want, right?
I can't see Tomer's face.
Like, I can't see
Tomer. I don't know if he's trolling. This is the problem right now.
Chat understands. Chat understands.
Also, Blaine, real quick, is just like attacking me personally. Why is Danger Days better than 3 Cheers? Come on, 3 Cheers is the best.
All right, Richard, what do you got for us? What do you listen to?
I don't listen to music.
Wow, what?
I don't understand.
You do.
I actually don't listen to music. Not even anime OSTs.
Final Fantasy OST. I know you do, Richard.
Okay, I do listen to the Final Fantasy 14 OST. I do listen to K-pop. Does that count? I don't think that counts as music.
Yo, Red Velvet?
I don't like K-pop fans
I'm into the
K-pop. It's music. Don't hurt me.
But I don't actually, I'm not one of those people that like plays music and like works and stuff like that. I just work in silence. And I don't go rock climbing with music. I'm not a music person. I'm like tone deaf. I can't hear like the differences in sounds.
If I take a 5-minute walk, I need music. That's
for sure. If I go to the toilet, I need music.
Yeah, if
I
take
do
my
really,
shower,
I
will like, leave my shower if I forget to turn on music or my music like turns off or whatever, and then I'll re-shower all over again.
I turn off in-game music as well.
I turn off in-game music so I can play my music.
My own,
I don't play any music. If it's a long car trip, I listen to audiobooks. Okay.
What are you? Oh my god. That scares me.
It's times of true desperation where you turn on the radio and then you're like driving through Utah or something, just listening to country because that's all they have. Like, but
yeah,
I know.
Richard doesn't listen to music because he is a robot.
Zero when you guys talking about music, literally zero. I'm like, are these indie bands? Or are they actually the most popular bands? I don't know.
Okay,
I imagine Richard actually is a robot, just like the Quarterman said right there. Richard doesn't listen to music because when he's not on stream or making anything, he's just recharging. That's it. He actually just powers down and recharges.
I can imagine he doesn't listen to music anymore because like right now he's just like he has like his 2 hours of consciousness and he's like, please sleep, no music, just silence, white noise generator, please. For me, I would say the one album that I've listened to the most, and this was like university whenever I was studying through, I would default to Modal Soul by Nujabes. I think that Nujabes is probably the artist that I've listened to the most in my entire life, just because it was like such familiar, nice study music. So I would always have it in the background whenever I was studying for exams and stuff. And like when I'm editing, I like music that doesn't have vocals, but if I do have to listen to music with vocals, it has to be music with vocals that I'm very familiar with, so I can kind of like tune out the vocals and just like do my jam. But I always have to have something in the background, so it's like almost always Nujabes if I need vocal music in the background. Big on that. Okay, we got a ton more questions. Does anybody have anything that popped out at them? We have so many super.
Yeah, we got it. So Adrian Garcia, aka Fox Mulder, already did the second super chat here, and the second one is $50. So thanks for this.
Jeez.
We didn't forget you. How old are you guys? How many years have you guys been playing? We have answered these. I believe in your Caldera, Toma. Never give up. I also think Secret Rendezvous is
someone has to believe.
Rendezvous is slept on, and Green is OP as heck. Yeah, not that Secret Rendezvous. Nah. The rest is fine.
So it's gonna be revealed in 2 days, but I edited the teaser for the next Commander Clash. Anything goes. I'm playing Caldera again, so root for me there. We'll see what happens. That's all I'll say on that one. There's no crim to steal it, hopefully.
You're welcome. Tomer, you're welcome. Caldera is safe.
We got one from Calevra. It says, when do we get a Commander Clash D&D one-shot that actually already exists? There is one on the YouTube. We did it. No one watched it. And then we decided we might not do D&D again because no one watched it. Do you think that'll ever change? Do you think things have changed with D&D where it would be popular if we did it now? Because I think literally the first time we did it, it's the least popular content we ever made. Like, bar none.
Is it Critical Role biggest like content creator?
Right. It's just like it's the hardest to pull off.
D&D.
It wasn't a one-shot, by the way. It was so okay. We actually did a one-shot with Seth, and Seth was not very impressed by D&D. So we did a full adventure. It was with Richard, Mrs. Mulligan, Jen, and Tom, MTG Radio, and who was the last one? Jeremy from Commander Versus. And it was Collective Voyage Innistrad. It's on the main channel, not this one. And it was my homebrew Innistrad adventure, Army of the Damned, that I ran everybody through. it didn't do that well viewer wise, but like D&D is like my all-time favorite thing to do. I would do it again, but it's more like we're not doing it to hope that it becomes like a big hit. It's just more of like my pet project that I want to do because I genuinely really like it. So I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna do it again, but it's just like not high priority. It's like if we need to have like certain things on the channel, that's not a top priority. But I would love to do it more. I love doing it more. Just it's like an extra thing. So you might see like a bonus one shot in the future. I won't rule it out. Maybe not another series.
All right, Tomer, from a little piece, super chat $10. What kind of keeb do you have, and what's your end game? What's a keeb?
It's a keyboard.
Keyboard.
Wow, I'm such a boomer. I'm sorry, guys.
Richard, come on.
So mechanical keyboards have
You
been, like,
youngins
really
and you're
popping off
insane.
recently. This is a KBD fans KBD 67. I have my Artisan Coil. I have, what was it? It's Gateron KS9 Pro yellows, but I refilmed and relubed them. I'm going to be swapping them to Epsilon soon, just because I want to give it a different shot. And I have two other keyboards that are ordered from group buys, but group buys take like a year for them to actually be sent. So they're like nice little things, and the future me will enjoy. Endgame keyboard, I have no idea. I really like the idea of Mr. Suit, but like, who knows? And
Wait, how fast do you type, Tomer?
slow.
what do you need this like OP?
But he does it
keyboard
on a
for?
nice keyboard.
Okay, because it's just like it's like a massage for your fingers. It's like a new experience. Like it's typing on it is like a pleasure, and every single different keyboard switch is like a different tantalize. It's like if you want to eat, it's like, oh, why do you need to eat a steak if you could just eat, like a tofu, like bland
it's more like
tofu.
a fancy fork.
Yeah.
To go
no,
with your steak.
No.
It's I mean, hey, I'm here for it. I think it's great.
It's
I
not
think
a
it's great.
fancy
Does everyone
fork.
have mechanical keyboards here?
You're getting a
Yeah.
sound and tactile experience. It's both. It's a combination. It's literally like
if I don't
how you
hear the
prepare
crunch
food.
when I press my keys, I don't like it.
Oh my
It's
God.
upsetting. I
Right,
actually
what color switches do you guys have? Tomer, what color are your switches?
These are Gateron yellows KS9, and they're linear.
What is that? I don't know what yellow means. Does it make clicky noises or no? Or is it the silent one? I only know what blue, black,
and
brown,
red.
I guess, and red.
No.
Those are the only colors I know. I didn't know they made yellows.
I don't even know what color mine is, honestly.
I
I didn't know there were colors. A little bit. Not super
if
loud.
I ever
but-
get sponsored by a
probably
mech keyboard,
browns.
I'll get all of you keyboards. But first, I need to find a sponsor. I bought like 5 keyboards for all my friends and family. By the way, I have an addiction.
And then they throw it out and use their stupid MacBook
No!
Pro like, keyboard. And they're like, oh, the
That
chiclets
would
just
actually
look good.
break my heart. It takes like an hour to assemble it too, right? Like,
y'all.
What, you have to
Also,
assemble
and
your
then-
own.
oh,
What
and
is going
lubing
on?
and filming them is like a full night. All right, yeah.
my
that was
my
that
switch is also blue, black, and red, as you can see. So
Really?
that's all it is.
Oh,
question. Oh my god, that was good.
I'm assuming that's what
That
Richard
was
meant,
good.
right?
That was good.
All right, we got one for Richard. Alexander Lima. When can we get some Richard content? I'd love to see some Modern Jund or CDH. Other people have said this in the chat too. When can we see Richard play Jund on the channel or CDH on the channel? So that one's for you, Richard.
I don't think you guys know what you're asking for. You're gonna every time I queue up Jund, you're gonna watch a 5-hour video of me sweating and grinding it out to go 2-3 or 3-2, and then
That's what the
pretty
viewer
much-
wants.
But
And I thought it was bad. I was watching
Unbanned.
Reed Duke. He does the same thing. He grinds up 5 hours. He's like 3-2. Like that's a solid showing for Jund.
Yeah. We did it.
But they
we
want
did
to
it.
see you suffer, Richard. They want to see you suffer through it.
I should
yes.
film
You
my
wanna see Richard
CDH
content.
adventures though. It's hilarious, but I do play a lot of CDH and EDH as well. But maybe we'll do a boomer Jund sometime. But I love the expression. Like people just love seeing my 4-drops. They always like comment on it. But yeah,
yeah, the soft ban on 4-drops is back. or is off.
Yeah, Lurrus is banned, so you can play all your
anyways.
boomer cards, right? It's time for Liliana to make her reappearance, right?
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Lures was not the issue. Jund sucks. If you just remember Jund sucked before Lures happened, it's really like 2018 forward card design that has ruined Jund. But yeah, we can still play Jund.
I will say I still hate seeing Lily, but that's because I play Fair Magic. So
this is a good one.
I get
for
matched up with
everyone.
Kim, I'm very happy. Just two old boomers playing with our boomer decks. I'm like, yeah, that's how Magic should be played.
Yeah, Sonny.
Then he plays
All right,
Theory. I'm like, that's not old Magic.
This one's for everyone from Tempest of Thought. What is each member of the crew's favorite character from MTG lore or story? And have you ever built a deck around that character?
Nicol Bolas.
So not power level, flavor purposes.
Nicol Bolas.
Well, obviously.
Ah!
And yes, Krim has built several decks around Nicol Bolas, I believe.
Which one do you want to see? You want me to go grab my commander decks? They're all actually.
That's tough. I've never been a big lore person. I really like Venser for some reason, but Venser's dead, so I don't think I'll ever really get to build a full Venser tribal deck.
Isn't he in Karn? Like, didn't they like Ant-Man him up Karn?
Whoa.
Maybe I'm not that up. I might have to take back my answer because I'm not that sure on the lore, I guess, of Venser. Does he live in Karn now?
To Karn.
They took his spark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah,
so
he
gave it to Karn
emotionally
to, like,
Ant-Maned his way up Karn.
Yeah.
Got
So
it.
if it wasn't for Venser, Karn would be dead, and I wouldn't have to deal with Tron. Oh my! You ruined my favorite Magic character with this lore.
Yep. He is the cause of all that suffering.
He is why suffering exists.
I actually have a commander that, based on a character that I really like. I guess it's my favorite. It's Toshiro Mizawa. The original Kamigawa books were actually pretty darn good. And Toshiro was a protagonist, but he wasn't like a good person. He was very much an anti-hero, where he did a lot of stuff very like for his own agenda. Like, but he ended up, saving, like, restoring balance to the plane. But the way he got there, the steps he got there was like, I'll gain power this way. I won't get killed because I stole from the wrong person this way, and so on and so on. So it's a really interesting character. And yeah, I do have a commander deck based on that, so that'll be my choice.
I don't follow any of the lore. Like, the only story I've read is the Gitrock monster story, and that was pretty interesting. But I wouldn't say I'm a fan of the I am a fan of the Gitrock monster, but just play-wise. Somebody in the chat said Fibberthip. Yeah, there's not really much lore about him, but it's a funny character. I do like Tamio, what I know from her is going around writing stories about what's happening and I don't know the English word for this, but she's like archiving what's happening. And I think that's an interesting character. Now she's Phyrexian, which is kind of badass, which makes it even better. The new Tamio was kind of boring to play, but the old ones are cool, especially the banned one. But let's play-wise. I don't know. I don't follow any of the lore at all. I'm sorry. Can't really answer this.
You should check out War of the Spark book. It's really
God no. God no, I read it. I should have regretted it.
What? No. It's something. That's all I'm saying. It's something.
I don't even think it might not even be the worst book though, because if anybody read the original Mirrodin books, oh boy, was that a trip. Original Mirrodin and the Zendikar books were also you don't know how bad some of these books are. I read them all. They're really not good. Read the Brandon Sanderson book. That one's good.
James Cooley, I see you quoting The Dark Knight.
Hey, Douglas Whitaker, I returned it for a refund. Can you refund a book? Isn't that
maybe you shouldn't read it, but you can definitely just refund the book.
Yeah. Wait, just so you can read it and just give it back? That's
I mean, you shouldn't, but you totally can't. Amazon doesn't check, right?
Oh, no, you can just go infinite.
You should abuse that, but.
Oh, yeah, didn't Brandon Sanderson want his book to be given out for free, and then Wizard of the Coast was like, nah. He did it. He wrote it for free, and he's like, please distribute it for free. That's the only thing I ask for. I'm writing a free book for you, and I'm a highly credited author, so it's free publicity, all free. And
he loves the
like
game.
Insulin.
I love the game.
He loves the game, so like why wouldn't? I mean, it's not like we have a high standards here in literature when it comes to Magic. So why not have someone who actually has done lots and lots of good stuff, right, for fantasy?
Oh, that's allegedly. I don't remember if that was the real story. Somebody can maybe correct me if I'm wrong. Richard, what's your favorite lore character?
I don't know. I don't follow lore.
Fletchling Offspring.
Fletchling Offspring? Does it have a story?
Is there? Right? Yeah. What is the backstory of Fletchling Offspring?
That's
born into a world without wings. Yeah. It's pure misery kept it afloat.
We're gonna have to request some fan fiction writers to join Goldfish to beef up.
Right here, I do that on my own time.
But yeah, I don't really I want to follow lore, but the lore is so bad that it's not worth. Like I read Brothers War, I thought that was really good. Then I tried to read some modern books, and they were so bad that I don't even want to bother. So now I'm like, look, someone is Phyrexian. Maybe they're not Phyrexian. Maybe they're dead. Maybe Emrakul is coming. I don't know. And then we just play the game. But I think I'm gonna choose one Thalia. I like Thalia. The 2-mana 2/1 first strike. That's holding down the fair game fort against all of the unfair decks.
I think I saw a lore video about her. That sounded cool. Like all the lore I've heard is actually kind of interesting. I just don't bother reading. Books are for nerds. No, I'm just lazy.
Somebody asked if I was going to do more lore videos. I mean, lower priority. The views were okay. Yeah.
I gotta ask Richard this because I am curious answer to this. Is it ever possible that there could be a MTG Goldfish mobile app from Kirsten?
So the answer is maybe, but I've never had the time. So there are things we can do. So mostly we want to make the website work on your phone. But the app would allow you some special things like camera integration. So maybe you can scan in cards directly to your collection. But that's like not anywhere close to being done. So, but it's something that would be nice. But we try to make the website as mobile friendly as possible, so you just use it on your phone.
Micah Small, this one's for you, Krim. Krim, who hurt you? Please continue being the villain. I don't know if you actually need to answer that, but how about this one? A little piece for everyone.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Krim is literally the villain. a little piece. Favorite board game for everyone.
Favorite board game
is D&D a board?
Not a game that makes you bored. A board, yes. Okay.
Easy game.
A non-digital game.
Betrayal at House on Haunted Hill.
Ooh. Oh, I think this is in this house. I think my girlfriend plays this.
Is that like a mafia type game? Like, what is that?
No, it's not based on Capenna, but it is actually from Wizards. Wizards made this, I think.
Oh.
Right? Like, I somebody has to verify this, but I think Wizards made that game. But it is Betrayal is a god tier game for one, because like every time you explore the mansion, the tiles, like because every room you enter, you flip new tiles, right? So because you're flipping new tiles, the mansion's never built the same, so there's never repeat gameplay. And then usually at some point, there's a thing called a haunt that's triggered, and there's like usually one betrayer or something like that. And it's a lot of fun, except for when you have to teach somebody how to play the game, and they end up being the person that has to do the haunt, right? Or the betrayer. Then that feels kind of bad, because like, well, go over there, away from us. And when you have questions, too bad.
I think this game is like in the other room, and I never played it. My girlfriend got it and was very happy with it when she played it, but yeah, sounds kind of cool. I was here playing Magic. I don't know.
Try it, Phil. It's really fun.
Board games are for nerds. Fun. I need to play Magic. I'll be over here playing Magic. I have some friends who are into board games. I've never been really into board games. I only play them when I'm over at their place. But like, I wanted to get like some. So I bought two board games. I bought them for a trip, and then we ended up not playing them. So I have Wingspan unopened, still in the wrap, and I have Codenames. So I'll say those are my favorite ones. I've never played either of them. They're both still in their wrap.
Codenames is kind
Codenames.
of fun.
Codenames is my favorite.
Fun, yeah.
Okay.
Is that a board game? I guess that's
mention
technically a.
Does that
No,
count?
that is a board game. That is a board game, right?
I mean,
that is a board game. Yeah.
If it's
yeah,
not
it uses
board
a
game,
board.
I have to say like Catan or something. Like, who knows?
I gotta say, I played a Warhammer 40k as a kid, and I guess that's the best board game to me, if that's a board game, if you could consider this. If you compare it to Risk, I hate Risk. I don't get it. Every time you play it, the one who starts wins like 100% of the time. Do we play it wrong? I don't know. I hope so, because otherwise the game is trash. Like the one who wins, the one who starts the game is always like, oh yeah, now I almost wiped out one player, or cut off everything. It's awful. I don't know. We probably just played wrong.
Risk is kind of like that. I used to play Axis and Allies a lot. I had a friend that was really into that. We had some epic Axis and Allies battle, but I haven't played a lot of like board games recently. I don't have any friends that are like way into board games at this point.
Is Axis and Allies the one with the mechs? And you have like the little mech guys?
It's like it's like a World War II strategy, like World War II strategy game essentially, where you one person controls the Axis powers and another one controls the Allies, and you kind of like battle World War II essentially. I think it's more strategic than Risk, slightly.
Has anybody played
Risk
one where it's,
is very true to name. Like you have to set the whole day aside, because every time I've played Risk, it's been like 12-hour games, and I'm just like, dude, please, somebody just die.
Yeah, no, thank you. No, thank you.
That's cutting into my magic time.
Or even better, as mentioned from above here, Alex Eberlein. I'm so sorry if I butchered your last name. But wait, I'm curious too. Have any of you played the Magic board game, the Duels of the Planeswalkers?
There's a Magic board game?
What?
Yeah. There's two. They're really bad. They're really bad. Like, oh my god. They're so
Have they
bad.
ever made a Magic IP game that was good? Like, I mean, like outside of the game itself, right?
Magic? No, that's about it. The game itself. What's the best one? What's the best non-Magic the Gathering Magic game they've made?
Wasn't there a mobile game that Crim said was good, but we just never got around to playing it?
Yeah, I played a lot of it. It was like a mobile like
game?
No. It was like not like Puzzle Fighter-esque, but it was like it was almost like a mini 3v3 like ARAM if you played League. That's how it plays. But if not, I'd probably say the RIP Magic Legends. I thought Magic Legends was
one?
Yeah, the Diablo-esque one.
That was the MMO Diablo thing.
Yeah.
I'm so happy I didn't start this. I love these kinds of games, and I'm pretty sure I would just like it no matter what. And wow, did it fail. Oh my god. Jeez.
Anything that's MMO-y now, I avoid like the plague. I can't.
The best one is Chandelar, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's classic.
We don't have any single player Magic IP that's like still based on the card game, but like having story mode in Magic I think would be interesting.
Oh, yes.
But I'm not sure if Chandelar is actually good, but we can just pretend it was good.
It's old enough that it gets a pass regardless, right?
Yeah.
All right. Metroid, big fan of the content. What's everyone having for dinner tonight?
I just had sushi.
I actually don't know what I'm having for dinner tonight. I don't plan that far ahead. I don't really plan ahead.
I don't either. Yeah.
I mean,
I'll just ask my community or something.
So one of my favorite Thai restaurants. You can order the sauces that they make. You can order them frozen, and then you add your chicken, your rice, or whatever you want to throw in. And they make the best massaman sauce. I don't know how to make it. I don't know how to make it good. So I got their massaman sauce, and all you do is you just heat it up in a pan or anything. And I'm gonna throw in a bunch of chicken, so it's gonna be massaman chicken. I'm super excited. I love it so much. I could just guzzle the sauce, or that's not the right word. I could just drink the sauce.
While we're on food, any of you like anchovies? Someone mentioned anchovies in chat, and I know that's the one thing I'm not eating because that is the. I think the lowest
anchovies are
food
S
in
tier
existence.
for toppings. What do you mean?
No, Tomer. No, you gotta be trolling. That anchovies and new Weezer, you gotta be trolling.
I'm just gnashing down this.
Opinion's worse.
I'm just noshing down this anchovy pizza while cruising to some sick new Weezer, bro.
I think anchovies get a bad rap, just like Hawaiian pizza gets a bad rap. Hawaiian pizza is actually fantastic. It's one of my favorite pizza combos. It's sweet and sour profile. Like it's like one of the most basic, like good taste profiles, and you're putting it on a pizza. Everything works well.
Oh no!
It must be a Canadian thing. Like Americans hate pineapples, but they're so good.
They're so exactly. Thank you, Richard. You're also Canadian. If anybody doesn't know, Richard, you were a Saga boy, Mississauga.
Yeah,
near
I grew up in
Toronto.
Canada, all the way through college before I moved to the States for after college.
So you grew up with the
Hawaiian pizza is normal.
Yeah, it's so good.
And it's not like, what is it? What do they call it here? Canadian bacon and pineapples or whatever. What do they call it? They don't call it Hawaiian pizza.
We call it Hawaiian.
Either,
I ordered Hawaiian pizza like last week, and it was called Hawaiian.
Yeah. I think it is Canadian bacon and pineapple or something where I am.
But you can get, but it's supposed to be ham and pineapple, right? And like bacon bits.
The problem is, like, why would you get pineapple when you could just get a good topping like pepperoni? Like, that's the thing. It's the opportunity cost. It's the opportunity cost.
Because you got that sweet,
that's what it
you
comes
got
down
that
to.
sour.
Describe your perfect pizza. What are the
salty
toppings?
Dude, like,
that's easy.
Top three,
X3 pepperoni, X2 cheese, good, whatever. Just load it up with as much
I like
pepperoni
a
and
New
cheese
York
as
pizza
possible.
there.
Yeah.
Arugula,
Okay.
spinach,
Oh, get out of here,
pepperoni.
Bay Area boy. Arugula.
Arugula. Oh God.
Well, this is too San Francisco.
Arugula is so good. I like straight up the other day. I was streaming and I was like, oh guys, I'm hungry. Chat, I'm hungry. I'm gonna just snack real quick. And I just sat there and I just ate this bag of arugula. It's so good, dude. I love arugula so much.
No.
What?
I remember, Grim. You have
And
a
I'm
weird
getting
diet.
hated on for Hawaii, and he's just like munching on a bag of arugula. What's going on? What's bizarre?
I did not expect Grim eating arugula.
Seth is right.
You showed up to Commander Clash with adult applesauce. Do you remember that? You had like some adult applesauce thing.
Well,
for
you can
Commander
call it
Clash
adult
report.
applesauce. We know.
I think you did call it adult applesauce.
I called it adult applesauce, and all it was is because all applesauce is for adults. It says ages 5+. Just like Magic the Gathering premier card game for ages 13+. So all applesauce is adult applesauce.
Applesauce arugula. Wait, Phil. What is your take on Hawaiian pizza here?
Okay,
I see you don't seem like the pineapples.
Okay, so
no.
I like
My diet isn't just arugula and applesauce. That's
well, you have to drink it with G Fuel, right?
Energy
Like
drinks.
that's
yeah,
the trifecta.
yeah.
like a smoothie with G Fuel and this. So I liked pineapples on their own as they're supposed to be eaten, but on pizza, get out of here. Like, pizza is strict. Pepperoni and jalapenos. Maybe cheese. There can't be too much cheese, but no pineapple on pizza. Come on, my girlfriend eats figs on pizza.
Yes,
that's
figs
another
are
level.
awesome.
No,
Oh.
worse.
Does she like anchovies?
No, it's so bad because sometimes she doesn't finish her pizza, and usually I'd be happy because I can eat it. But not with figs on it. What's going on there?
That's S tier. S tier.
I think I'm just bad on this. I'm a East Coast pizza purist. I'm like cheese, and if you're feeling frisky, pepperoni.
Oh, yeah,
That's it.
There you go.
You're the Canadian.
The pineapple's
Richard.
acceptable.
You're supposed to back me on this. What happened to Hawaiian
I
solidarity?
ate pineapple pizza when I was a child, so I'm used to it. But as an adult, I eat the New York snobby pizza.
But wait,
All right,
isn't New York
whatever.
pizza
I'll
just
die
too
on this
thin?
hill. I'm fine with that.
It's
That's
too
what makes
thin.
it good. It's thin and crispy.
No.
What about anchovies? Though? Do people like anchovies?
Oh no.
Oh, they're the
Wait,
worst.
I've
That is
never
the
had
worst
good
thing I've ever
anchovies
eaten.
though.
I don't know
That's
what's
the worst
the
I've ever eaten.
translation for this actually. How do you spell it?
It's a type of fish.
Oh, I know. No.
Those little.
The problem is it's so unpopular that when you get it at a random place, it's probably not going to be good. You need to go to some like dedicated anchovy joint or something, right?
It's probably been sitting there for like a year because no one orders it. So
good. They're like it's just it gets to what's the word like ferment. Yeah, that's the word.
They made me eat it for a charity stream. We did a pizza charity stream and they made me eat it, and it was the worst thing ever. And then all my little brothers were making fun of me, so I was like, "Oh, I had some leftovers. Like, try it." And they all like actually like spit it out. None of them actually. None of them actually swallowed it. We got one for Phil. Phil from Ethan Pitts.
Ethan, yeah, I was going to mention this.
But on Clash, you want to that you play Borderlands. Are you excited for Wonderlands this Friday? I don't know what those words mean, but hopefully Phil does.
So there's a new.
Is that a rave?
No, it's like Borderlands, but a D&D add-on, pretty much. It's actually very, very cool. Like, they did it in the second part of Borderlands, and I'm just 100% sure this is going to be amazing. And all of my friends will play it too, but all of us don't have time for it this Friday. But we plan on playing it at some point, because now there's cross-play. They said there's going to be cross-play. We're going to see about this. But not at all in the next future. Like, I need my time for this. I probably have to take time off to play this. Same with Breath of the Wild 2. And I can actually answer a question. People have been asking what we would choose as a secret layer, like what IP. It's probably going to be Borderlands, Zelda, or Studio Ghibli for me. Yeah, just to get this one out as well.
That's so easy.
Theme-wise,
theme-wise, it would be Jujutsu Kaisen, right?
Sure.
Jujutsu Kaisen, and then all the cards in there. Oh yeah, you know what's gonna be. We've got some like we've got a few curses. Why not? Because it's Jujutsu Kaisen. You got to have curses, and then of course it's got to have Shadow of Doubt. Shadow of Doubt a lot, and
we need to do another anime week for sure. We'll bring back Crim for it. I have plans.
Also, watch
BoJack's
Jujutsu Kaisen
the only
0.
one I know, though.
You're gonna have to have some homework to do, Seth. Oh, there is a question. Somebody got a super.
I was gonna say, there is a question.
Commander
a lot.
Tofu MTG. Thanks for the super. How much money do I have to donate until Seth watches a single anime from start to finish? Like one episode, or like the entire? I guess the entire show, right?
It probably depends on the anime. Some of them are really long.
Oh god,
you have to watch
cruel.
all of like
Don't
Naruto
make Seth
or
watch
something
that.
From start to
One
finish.
Piece would be like thousands of episodes. Really.
What's the longest one? Is it One
Actually-
Piece or like Naruto?
You know, like One Piece isn't even the longest running anime, technically.
What's the longest?
What is the longest running one?
I think the longest one is like a really old one, and it's like it's like I think One Piece is only like the 7th longest anime or something like that.
Wow. Okay.
What? Isn't it like 12 seasons or something?
Yeah, One Piece started in 99. I don't remember. That's all I know. I was just a wee lad. Yeah, Shin-Chan is the longest. Elfanger's got
What?
it. Shin-Chan is the longest.
That's crazy.
Okay, that makes sense.
Detective Conan is also up there.
Okay. All right.
So what's your price, Seth? What's your price?
Actually, it wouldn't be that much. I would watch like Full Metal Alchemist or Cowboy Bebop or one of those. I actually started watching one of those recently, but I only watch TV like when I'm going to bed.
Please don't say it's the live action one.
When I'm going to bed. No,
it
was like the real one.
Oh, okay.
But I was only
Crim,
like,
you want to hear a hot take?
And it seemed too good to
am I ready
not
for
pay
this,
attention
Phil?
to.
It's true.
Am I
I like
ready
the
for
live
this?
action Cowboy Bebop. I'm sorry.
Get out of here.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. I like some parts of it, actually.
I had some moments. But
Wait,
like,
should I watch it or
don't know.
no? Tomer, give me your Bebop fan. Should I watch live action?
Have you watched the original?
Yes, but that was like 15 years ago. Or
Rewatch
whatever.
the original. Rewatch it. It's like why?
And then watch the live action or no?
What was the point of
Just skip
this?
it.
What was the point? Who wanted this live action? It's like the original's so good, and then I rewatched it in preparation for the original, and it just still holds up. It's really good.
Oh yeah, that's probably
And then
a
I went to
mistake.
watch the live action. I'm like, why did you make these changes? What purpose Like it's not like whatever. I'm not like oh, change is bad. It's an adaptation. Like it doesn't have to be its own thing. But as long as it's good. And it had its moments. It had some moments that I was really happy about. It had some stuff that I did not like. But there was a lot of the stuff that I didn't like. Anyway, I don't want to go on a ramble. Anchovies are great though.
Also, to answer one more thing, it's Mag Mortar 182. High Clash Crew, any of you playing or going to play Elden Ring? And have any of you played Elden Ring?
I played some Sunday, and I'm going to be playing more tonight. I'm actually going to be streaming it. It's my first Dark Souls game ever.
Oh. I've been streaming it quite a bit myself. It's been a lot of fun. I think the other day I sat around for 7 hours dying to something that wasn't even a boss. So
I can summon you in it, right? Like you.
Yeah, you can. We can actually go through this like somewhat together. Like the co-op is like kind of there, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
It looks very cool. At least it's too frustrating for me though.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I was gonna play it. I was thinking about it, but then I bought I bought the new wild card bundle, and now I'm out of money. So
no, I get it. I get $50. I mean, that's just $50 well spent.
How much was Elden Ring? I forgot. I think it's less than the wild card bundle.
Same as the wild card bundle.
Same, $50, $60.
Just look at the quality that you're getting. Oh god, no, positive. Yeah, that would be fun. We have to link up sometime, Grim.
Yeah.
I just figured out how to put a weapon into my left hand, so that's where I'm at.
Richard would love this game because, just like Tomer mentioned, the interface is just unnecessarily difficult. So it's just like, wow, you're telling me now after I've leveled like for 40 levels, I could just set this as a hotbar? And the porting that they do from PC, like for PC, is awful. It's awful. It's the worst ported thing I've ever played in my life, but the game is so fun. And so the core game, the game is amazing. Mouse and keyboard is not the way to go. If you play it on controller. I just troll myself by playing it on keyboard and mouse.
I didn't realize that you could put a PS4 and play it on the computer, so I'm going to do that next time. So they gave me that hot tip. I'm like, oh my god, I did not know technology. That's crazy.
I can't play any Souls games. They're too hard. I don't understand why people find them enjoyable.
Just try it though. That's what I thought, And then
I tried I think the original Dark Souls, maybe the second one, and I think I went to the wrong area and kept fighting something I shouldn't have been fighting for a really long time. And I'm like, what is the point of this game? There's I'm like, this is not enjoyable. Like, why do I want to spend 5 hours fighting a boss? I'm confused.
I tried playing Demon's Souls and I had that exact same experience. Like I played Demon's Souls and the game was very hard. And then when I died, my items lost durability. So I lost my items. I had to go through the exact same level, but this time infinitely weaker because I have no items left. And all the NPCs are dying because I'm failing a lot. They're like, we're withering away because you suck at Demon's Souls. I'm like, why? Don't you just teach me how to play that? And I'm just naked, and I have to run around just hoping to find, I don't know, currency to update my weapon. I'm like, this game sucks. But Elden Ring's a lot easier. Elden Ring's a lot easier.
I don't even know if this is a hot take, but I don't think anybody's actually good at Dark Souls games. They just die less than the other person.
No, wait. Have you heard of There's a whole community trying to run all Souls games with no damage in one sitting.
Yeah.
So these guys are pretty good at Souls games.
I would say they're okay. Those people are probably pretty, but the average player probably is just they don't die as much.
That's the point of the game. That's actually why I don't play them. I like playing games where I can absolutely dunk on my opponents, like Borderlands, or if you get good at Fortnite or Smash Bros. It's like,
do you know how much teabagging I do in PvP?
Oh,
you can dude.
Super BM,
I
right?
button mash the up and down button.
Cool.
I am like, oh god, I teabag so much in every video game I play.
So quads from all the teabagging.
Yeah, dude, I am fit. I am digitally fit. All right, so much cardio.
Wow, there's so many people. Alexandria thinks there's so many people who want stuff to watch anime. I love it.
I'll watch an anime. I'll watch an anime and report back.
Nathan
For the
was like,
What's Attack on
you
Titan?
think Seth
That's
would like
actually
My Hero
good.
Academia.
Ooh.
Academia? Yeah.
My Hero
Academia.
Academia.
I
You know
thought it
what's
said
funny
My
is,
Hero Alchemy. I'm like,
I read. Well, it said My Hero Academy, and I was like, all right.
I think I was once talking to Mark Rosewater in London, and he was recalling anime titles. He said My Hero Macadamia, Cowboy Treetop, and I was like,
Like went through the Google Translator a few too many times.
and I was like, we were just like talking about like alternative names, and it was just hilarious. But yeah, I don't know. Seth, do you like superheroes?
no, he doesn't.
I mean, actually, I assume not, right? Because you didn't even know what
Does
an
he watch
X-Men was.
MCU?
I didn't know what an no, not really. No.
I don't think Seth would like My Hero Macadamia.
Is it like X-Men anime basically? Is it the
It's
more or
yeah,
less?
well, superhero anime. Food Wars is a fun one, but I think the first 2 episodes would weird Seth out too much, a little too much fan
What?
service.
Okay,
So-
what was the one you tried to make me watch at Vegas, Krim? Just so the chat knows.
I don't remember.
We don't talk about that, okay?
Yeah, we don't. I don't remember. But you know what you should
get those
watch?
that
Jujutsu Kaisen. Just watch Jujutsu Kaisen.
No, watch Attack on Titan. I'm watching this right now, like the newest season, and it's rough, but it's actually good. Like not like childish or something. If you worried that anime is for kids, this one's not for kids at all. Like
It's funny because I like animated shows. I just never really watched anime. So
Yeah,
I'm not
usually
really worried about kids. I've just never really got introduced to anime outside of the one night in GP Vegas with Krim, and I was like, I don't.
Hey, what
I don't know
happens
about
in Vegas stays in Vegas, okay? So
We should answer more questions.
Yeah,
Have any Tom Kerber? Did any of you guys play Explorers of Ixalan? I played it a couple times with Commander decks.
What's
wait,
that?
what?
What is Explorers of Ixalan?
Let's look this up.
It was an extra set they made?
It's like a supplemental product of some kind. It's like I think it's a cross between a board
Tile-based
game and actual Magic, where you like play on some sort of board, but you play with actual Magic decks. I've never played it. I remember it existing, but I never played it.
Tile-based game.
Oh, yeah.
Quests.
The answer is no. We did
Yeah.
not play
Yeah.
Explorers of Ixalan.
I hate Ixalan. I mean that set was miserable, so anything tied to
Plan
that
was
set
cool,
is misery. Was it?
I like the
Was
I
it?
like
though?
the dinosaurs and pirates. I mean, you gotta give him.
Oh,
Credit
so
to try that.
underpowered.
Oh, it was
so
awful.
underpowered.
That was the problem.
They needed to up the power a bit, I think, and it would have been better.
I know that
Swan brought us House
preached.
and Dagger, and that's all you need.
Yeah, a lot of good flip cards. That's true.
I know
So
I mentioned
the
I
answer is
hated
no.
Carnage Tyrant. Right, I hated Carnage Tyrant, but then the meta happened afterwards. Then it made me realize, Ixalan was one of the I think that is the weakest set in all of Magic. Like that is
Whoa,
the weakest
Homelands?
plane I've played.
Oh.
Yeah, Fallen
Jeez.
Empires.
Modern
Hello?
Magic.
Yeah.
Modern Magic.
That
Modern
I've
Magic,
played.
maybe.
That
Okay,
I've
okay.
played.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
But what
So
about-
from
wasn't-
Odyssey forward,
Could be.
I think Ixalan might be the weakest set. It was miserable.
Wait, there was.
It's the opposite. So here's Eldraine, and then
Wasn't
there's
Judgment
the other
influence?
side of Eldraine, right? The polar opposite side of Eldraine. That's Ixalan.
What about you played Kamigawa then, though, right?
I played Kamigawa was fine. I mean, the
Oh,
problem
he
was
doesn't
GT.
Kamigawa.
Okay, fine. When I say fine, I mean it was powerful. It was GT.
It had
Or
like
die.
yeah, it had a Jite in it, and I can't think about the rest. I don't know if there was any other like modern standard all-stars at the time.
That was a
Kamigawa was not as weak as Ixalan. Play pattern wise, it was at least more entertaining. I'm not saying it was good, by the way. I don't think it was good. I just think it was better than Ixalan.
That's fair. I see a shout outs from Matty T that just got deleted. Okay. There it is. Matty T, this is a shout out, I guess, for Richard Vindication. Just wanted to say Secret Rendezvous is legit good in Commander, trash in 1 versus 1, but multiplayer it's 3 mana for 6 cards. 3 for you, 3 for. It's 2 for you, 3 for your ally. I just want to throw it out there, but thanks for the super.
It's okay, Matty T. We'll just keep abusing the card until one day it gets banned. Just like when you were like the first person to play Oko. Everyone was like, "Oh, this card's trash." Like, what?
Nobody thought this about Oko though. Target me with the secret rendezvous. Maybe I change my mind. Let me draw the cards. Maybe I say, "Oh, that's such a good card."
If I keep saying it's really good, will you target me with it, Richard?
Yeah,
I'll take it.
I will target the person that benefits me most.
Right? Why is that never me? Why is that never me?
It's S tier.
That's never me.
Please target me.
I have to admit though,
it's S tier.
Yeah, listening to the podcast, Richard did make some good points. Like, you can make a friend with it. Yeah, that's probably...
You most likely don't want me to target you, because that means you're on 1 land when everyone else is on 8. Like, that's probably what that means, right? So you probably don't want the secret rendezvous, but you'll get some help, right?
Richard, I'm as someone who's common and often stuck on lands, you never once targeted me. You know what? Why is that?
I don't think I've actually cast like Secret Rendezvous in Clash ever. Like maybe once, actually. I think Seth has cast more Secret Rendezvous in Clash.
And I played it in 1 deck, I think.
Yeah. But I play it all the time. If you beat me in a Moto casual room, you might hit a Secret Rendezvous. I've cast it a lot in free-for-all games.
I wonder if that played a part in your downfall.
All right. Next question. Javier. Hello, Goldfish team. Quick question. Out of every Commander Clash, Commander Quickie, Budget Commander that you've been in, which was your favorite deck you've each played? Do you all remember that? That's always a tough one because we played a lot.
That is a tough one. One that stands out was a somewhat recent one where I won with the Shadowborn Apostles with the onboard graveyard exiling trick that everyone except me missed.
S-Alpha.
That was sick.
Yeah.
The Alphabet Week, yeah, that was one that stands out.
That was sick, yeah. I'm gonna be boring and I'm gonna say tribal. It's my favorite deck ever, so easy.
Wait, is the question the favorite deck that we've played on Clash?
Favorite deck.
Yeah.
And I played it on Clash before, so.
My favorite deck is probably still Riku of 2 Reflections and the changes. Like, when I played it in my first Commander game ever, it didn't play Mirror Match for some reason. Now it's like a full-on fun deck list, and it's probably the most fun deck I play. But the Smash Bros deck was so much fun to play with the soundboard and getting new challenger. It wasn't strong. I'd probably still say Riku. Just copying stuff, get value. That's the most fun I can hope for. Also, next week's deck. Ooh yeah.
Chaos.
Oh, God.
Very easy. Chaos. Like it's not even a decision for me. It's even in Grixis.
Sure.
Absolutely.
If I had to play a random deck, it would be Rograk or Birds. And I have to try really hard not to play Rograk all the time. I really like Rograk. I like Colossus Hammer. Colossus Hammer is one of my favorite cards of all time.
Okay.
Me too.
That was pretty easy then to answer, actually. I thought we'd have to dig deep, but no.
That's because we can't remember anything like from
we all picked the stuff like we played this year. You know?
Yeah.
That's the funny thing is like when everybody's like, "Hey, don't you remember that you played this deck?" You know, like is season 3, episode 12. It's like, no, I don't even remember what I played last week. Like. We play so much, like becomes a blur after a while.
I think I still remember pretty much every deck, but there are some that I don't remember as much. But it's not too much for me. It's not even a year of Commander now.
Oh. Yeah, give it time, Phil. Give it time. You'll get
it. Okay. Questions.
I believe, don't we have some other in the doc?
We do, but Seth is like madly deleting everything, so I don't know what's going on.
I don't even have a link to that.
I'm trying to get rid of him.
Oh wait, just kidding. I got it.
I'm trying to keep the sheet up to date. That one was from Adrian Garcia, Trout Mask Replica. Awesome. I like that album a lot. Not really a question, but I agree it's a really good album. Lauren Law, $5 donation. Of the 5 new monocolor legendary, The 5 of you are now a cycle of monocolor legendary lands. What color are each of you?
Ooh, we're not lands, just legendaries.
Oh.
I mean, I guess we could.
I don't know why I threw lands in there. Okay, we're each a color, a monocolor legend. We can only be each color once. Which color are we? I mean, Crim's tough because he's got to be. He's Grixis, but we got to pick one.
He would just go Grixis, I think.
It's definitely Grixis, but
I know what color he would choose. I think I know.
Crim did not understand the assignment.
It's blue that like holds it together, or black. It's got to be blue or black.
What's more?
Because he sometimes goes Esper. He sometimes goes Esper.
Position
Black? Probably black.
So
I don't know.
I love
counters.
I love counter spells. But also I can't play a deck without an opposition agent or hard removal. You know? so like I'm torn here. It's blue or black. The red is only like there. Like I love it by just association with like, you know what I.
That's just so you can play a bolus in your deck.
Yeah, exactly. It's bolus.
Legal.
Exactly.
Chat seems to have strong opinions on some of these.
Richard's mono white. There's no doubt. Richard's got to be.
Yeah.
Bill's
Hagramauling is in black.
Green. Yeah.
Blue or green. What does that leave for us? Black and blue, Tomer? I mean, I guess I'm black and you're blue.
Red?
Wait, red.
Because
Don't
chaos? Or
I think I figured it out. I do play the most black, right? When we did the stats episode.
Yeah.
So okay, I'm black. Okay, okay.
So blue and red are left.
I'm happy with either of them, honestly. This is my favorite guild, so I play a good amount of either of those.
I played so much Boros recently. Maybe I'm red now. Maybe I've shifted. I think like 5 years ago, I would have been blue, but now maybe I'm more red.
Things that are weird to hear people say. I play so much Boros.
And from Seth of all things. All right, we figured it out then. It was funny though. There's like no debate. Richard's just the white player. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No one's even gonna try to fight you
the
for
best
it,
color in
Richard.
Magic.
It's funny because like, I play a lot of white too. Like a lot of my budget deck techs were also about white, but now it's kind of like too easy to like I haven't done a budget deck tech on mono white in a while because like mono white's in a good spot now. I think, right? I think Richard can back me on this.
Better.
I'm waiting for you guys to see the next BNR where a white card gets banned. Like it's gonna happen.
It'll happen.
Like
I wouldn't mind if they just like cut Smothering Tide. Like it's not fun to be like, do you pay the 2 for this? It's like,
yeah,
no, leave me alone. Take your treasures. God.
And then again, I don't get it. There were some questions about the ban list in the community post, like which cards would we ban. I don't get why there should be a ban list, except for Commander on Magic Online. Shouldn't Commander be play whatever you want with your friends? I don't get why any card should be banned. And if any card should be banned, it should probably be expropriate instead of prime time. Like it's such a weird. Yeah, just to address all these questions, for me it's like just no ban list. It's a free casual format. Play with your friends and punch them if they play a card you don't like. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe Dockside. That maybe
Dockside is pretty offensive, right? Like that card's pretty offensive.
Yeah, but
we didn't want to do really too much with the ban thing, though. I remember we talked about it beforehand. We're like, this will take too long, I think.
We've done a couple podcasts on it.
Phil wasn't in that podcast, though, so that was good.
Oh, that's right.
I'm just play whatever you want.
We did a podcast on it as well. If you want to hear the rest of us talk about it. What else we got?
Every question that's on this sheet hasn't been answered, right?
I think
has
so.
not been answered yet.
Okay.
Drew Lacour, 569.
Nice.
Why do you guys think WotC
Nice.
keeps reprinting bombs like Hedron Archive but designing trash new cards like Ugin the Ineffable? Okay, wait. Okay, we talked about this at length. I want to hear Phil's take. Is Hedron Archive a good card or not?
A bomb.
That's the. You know what it does, right?
I do know what it does. There's an old border version of it, which is the reason to play it. Over
Phil,
maybe...
are you for or against Tomer here?
I played it once. I played it once in Jin Gitaxias. It's a an okay card, right? I don't see it as. I'd rather play a Soul Ring on turn 1 than a Heat Run.
Okay, Phil. Okay, not all of us have turn 1 Soul.
Both a card slot.
Of the century here.
Yeah, but it's both like a card slot. It's not like you say, yo, if you don't draw the Soul Ring, then I can just say you don't draw the. It's an okay card. I just don't usually play it. For 4 mana, I can play like. Well, I can play a Risen Reef and have 1 mana up for something else.
Phil's always in green, so he doesn't need Hedron Archive.
Yeah,
if you were
don't need it.
Player or Boros player, you would understand the upside of drawing 2 cards for 6 mana.
Oh, so you're cracking it. Yeah, I usually don't crack it. I didn't even think about the fact that you can crack it, but then your mana rock is gone. How are you gonna pay for these spells you draw? I don't know. It's not. It's an okay card. I wouldn't hate anybody for or like judge anybody for including it in any deck. It's probably like a 7 out of 10. It's okay, right? Maybe a 6.
It's incredibly safe and neutral. I appreciate it.
Yeah, the card is fine.
M. Thomas, when is Phil joining Commander Clash podcast? I will say that Richard couldn't make it for the recording for next week's podcast. So Phil actually took his place. So if you want to hear Phil on the podcast, check out.
Yeah, my quality takes because I'm such an expert in Commander. It wasn't necessary for this podcast, but I just started playing Commander last August, I think. So I'm not really an expert, but you can get my noob opinion on stuff. Maybe
none
that's
of us
actually
are experts, though. That's the whole thing. Like all of us are trash. And the nice thing is the perspective too. If you're a newer player, like you don't have all the baggage of like I've been playing for a decade, so I view the lens with a decade's worth of
that's actually
game, and you have a fresh perspective. It's much better to have, and that's like the biggest thing. Like most people in the comment section are always like, we really like this podcast because we always like the group has different perspectives. They don't always agree on everything, and I think that's our greatest strength. So I think you're bringing a fresh perspective is actually like really good.
Yeah, it's also like when you talk about like stuff that is boring to you in Commander, like playing, I don't know, IEC or Tatiova and playing landfall and getting all the value. I never did this. Maybe next time. We'll see. But for me, it's like super cool and refreshing. Or like Sand Triplets. It's awful to play against, probably. But I would probably play it once. Like all this stuff that you guys did already and think it's like I did play it, okay, but not as a commander. Not as a commander.
Oh no! Don't give him ideas.
I thought you did.
I did play it, but not as a commander. I played a partner pairing. I think Sakashima and the one with the string. But that might be a good point there. I haven't experienced all the classic commander stuff, and I can. Yeah, I will play some landfall and sand triplets at some point. Let's say it like this.
You're gonna die that episode, but it will be glorious if you get to stick around, I guess. We'll try our best to stop you. Andres, thanks for the super. Hey, Command Clash Crew, I've been watching the series since the first season back in 2015. Oh my god, we've been doing this for so long. I want to thank you all for the entertainment throughout the years. You have gotten me through a lot of hard times with all the laughs. Thanks, Andres. Appreciate that. Yeah, wow, we're going on 7 years now on Command Clash. It's kind of mind-boggling.
Crazy.
We've been doing it.
Yes, it is.
Douglas Whitaker. Krim, you know that Seth should watch Carol and Tuesday, especially with his love of indie music. I don't know if he'd like it. It's a music anime, but I don't think you would like it. It's
you don't think so?
Because it's got this space American Idol vibe to it too, and I don't see you liking that.
Idol.
Right?
Yeah, I've never actually watched American Idol, so I do like indie music though. All right, This one I think is for Richard. Dominic D. Coco wanted to ask why Goldfish doesn't support Pauper like it did in the old days. Also, what's your opinion about the PFP Pauper format panel? Why do we not have as much Pauper? I guess for me, Paupers went through some rough times, and I just haven't played it much recently, so I haven't made videos about it. I don't think there was ever like a conscious choice. I think the biggest thing was Jake leaving, because that was like Jake's series. He was like the playing Pauper person, and then he had his health stuff and stopped making content, and that kind of led to just less Pauper content.
Yeah, I mean, so like website wise, it's the same support, but content wise, it's just Pauper has gotten less popular over time. Like I think Commander has kind of replaced it. Like people just don't watch Pauper content, right? It's basically if you don't see some kind of content, it usually means people don't watch it, right? So like limited content, Pauper content, vintage, legacy, like there's some people that watch it, but it's like vastly less popular than standard or Commander or things like that. So, but we do try once in a while to make a Pauper video or something, right? Like we don't get rid of it completely, but you just don't see weekly content for
it. Oh, Charlie is asking about Goldfish Commander weekly podcast instead of bi-weekly. We are weekly now, by the way, so yeah, right.
Ooh, Douglas Whitaker. Richard, when can we get gold fishing on MTG Goldfish? Any thought of like draw your opening hand or something on the deck page? Like, is that something that could be possible?
So we have draw your opening hand.
And draw a hand, yeah.
And you can mulligan, but we don't have the ability for you to like play cards. But I think that is something we want to do, like like a basic like cockatrice type thing where you just like dump cards on the table, like no rules engine, but you can basically kind of Goldfish. So yeah,
that'd be sweet.
Ooh, Mayito asks, Adriano and his summons are a staple of MTG Goldfish videos. Does he have an origin story? It's for Richard.
Oh, yeah.
Richard doesn't remember.
That was so long ago. Where did we even find Adriano from? He's been working with us forever.
Wow. If Adriano's watching this, he'll be very upset.
Oh, no.
Did he approach us? Or did I approach him?
How long has he been working? Do you know? How many years?
Oh my goodness, 3 or 4. I want to say like it's been several years that we've had Adriano. You can actually find it if you go back.
I know what it is. I remember now. I remember the exact story. We put out a post looking for artists to make thumbnails, and everyone like emailed in just like random stuff. And most people did the generic Magic thumbnail, which is like some art and then some text. But Adriano drew like a Death and Taxes thumb, and it was like an Eldrazi like doing like a tax return at a desk.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
And the iconic Adriano art. And I'm like, this is so sweet, right? We got to get this guy, and like that's how we got Adriano. So we sent out a call. He sent in his sample to us, and it like just blew everyone out, and that was kind of the start of the like custom Adriano Magic meme kind of thumbnails. So yeah, I remember that one.
Okay.
Wow, I tried scrolling backwards to find the first Adriano thumb, but it's a lot of content here.
I don't even remember the thumbs before Adriano, honestly. It's been that long.
Oh,
it was something around Eldrazi and Taxes time. So what was that? Oath of the Gatewatch or something, right? Like that's when he started.
Wait, but he is Kaladesh already.
Oath is way before Kaladesh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I missing something? No. That's it. It's an actual image of Borgel on the Borgels versus Kikis and match 2. Huh.
If you go back to the old days, you find some classic Seth thumbs that are just horrible. I think that's the main reason you wanted to hire someone to do thumbnail art. Is my thumbs were so bad. Richard was like, we can't have Seth doing this. We gotta get someone who knows what they're doing.
So the funny thing about the internet is everything is there. So you can actually find like the first budget Magic was made by me. not Seth. So you can find me running some budget tech through a rival league.
It was just recommended to me yesterday. It popped up on my YouTube recommendations. I was like, I don't remember playing Mono Black in Standard, and I clicked on it, and it was Richard, the one budget Magic with Richard.
Listen, we need that Richard content.
Yeah, I dropped it before. Like we had the professor showcased on the website. If you watch Seth's first recordings, he does not sound anything like he does today, like at all. Like you don't even recognize it.
Yeah.
So if you actually really go back and dig at some of the stuff, or you look at like our Commander Clash, our Commander Clash Season 1 deck lists are like hilarious. Like if you actually look at them, like even for that time, they're pretty funny. But yeah, you can actually see a lot of the old stuff. It's pretty funny.
It's weird how like our voices and stuff. Like I remember when I was looking at my older videos, especially like the first season of Commander Clash. If you go back to that, it's like I was so like my voice was so deflated because I was just like talking like, "Hey, we're on playing Commander Clash." Woo.
Yep.
And I watch it back. I'm like, "No, you have to be excited. You're playing a game that you enjoy. What are you doing, young Tomer? Why are you sad so depressed?" I don't know. I think it was nerves or something, right? I don't know.
I mean, it's like if I look at my old content, and it's not that old, but I have a different mic. I don't have a catchphrase yet, although I do say it, but it's not in the way I say it now. Like, you just evolve and get better. I don't think it's like, obviously you cringe. I cringe when I see my old videos. There's some cool edits in there still, but oh my god, my audio quality was never recorded anything before, so that's go figure. But still, by the way, I think I found the first thumbnail, which is 4 years ago. Instant deck tech 4-color gift rights. That's the first.
What's that? 4 years ago.
This is modern, but let me see if there's a standard.
I'm like Innistrad. That was like 2 years ago.
2018? Right? Throne of Eldraine, maybe? I want to say 2018.
No. It's. Wait, that's so.
Isn't that when Arena launched? 2018 would be 4 years.
4 years of Arena?
Wait, let me see if there's a.
4 years of beta.
I don't know. That's modern.
Technology.
Well, it's so weird. Like, I don't want to go off topic here, but Arena was so much better in beta. They actually had like animations for their stuff.
No, you had hope. You had hope that it would become.
No, look at the game now.
The hope is dwindled. You're like, this is it, right?
They actually had events with like special game modes where you get like Cascade Standard and stuff. Back then it was like once a week there was like a super unique game mode where you can build a deck especially just for this, and now it's like, oh, once a week you can play, I don't know, play Alchemy. All access Alchemy. Play with these trashy, I almost cursed there. Play Alchemy. That's oh god. Yeah,
I think Alchemy's the one topic you might be able to get away with cursing about, I think.
Yeah.
So you get a pass.
Alexander Lima, what's the income spread wise between website, Twitch, and YouTube? So we put a lot more effort into YouTube than Twitch, so I don't think it's fair to compare them because we just stream a couple times, but we make all our videos on YouTube, and I actually don't know for like a full-time content creator which one is actually better. But the good thing about YouTube is your videos keep getting views when you're not doing anything, right? Like for Twitch, you need to actively keep streaming, but for YouTube, we can get a like 1-year-old video that's like getting views still and like doing things. So I think that would be like the difference between the two if you're trying to get started.
I think
getting started on Twitch is rough. I think
you have to like stream like 24/7, right, to get a foothold on Twitch, right? Like if you're just streaming just like once or twice a week, that's, I don't know. Crim's probably also more known on that.
I would say that YouTube probably is better. When you like, I from like anybody starting up, it's probably better to easier to monetize on YouTube than it is on Twitch, because Twitch is like I had to essentially do the double shift, right? I essentially worked a normal job, like streamed 8 hours after, went to bed, and then went back to work and did the same thing for 5 days a week, right?
Wow.
So essentially work days were like 16-hour days. And so yeah, like I had to grind that out. So and whether or not that's healthy, obviously it's not. I don't recommend it. So, but at the same time, streaming is fun. I love the live aspect of it, but monetization wise, I think it's got to be YouTube.
It's also hard to differentiate yourself from other content if you want to get started and from the get-go it's like, oh, 6 hours a day streaming, you can't really evolve and think about how you make unique content. For me, it was like, yeah, I worked for 8 hours a day, but I'm editing my stuff so it looks different than the other stuff. I don't know. I wouldn't suggest. I don't know. Streaming isn't for me. Maybe that's the thing. It's like the opposite of my content.
Our tips for streamers don't. That's like what I'm hearing.
I don't. That's not what I'm saying. though. You can
I'm kidding.
But you gotta be. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't watch streams. Sorry, guys. Back when we had these preview events, that's when I watched streams. But now it's like, nah, I watch a video, especially if it's well produced. And I don't know.
I had a tangential question from Zach Baker. What do you suggest for someone wanting to start content creation? And just because we were talking about Twitch and YouTube, my advice would be just do it. Like, just go for it, because I think the hardest thing for a lot of people is they just don't make that attempt because they like overthink it or they think it's going to be bad. And it's like, your first stuff's going to be bad. Just go for it, because the only way you improve is you just keep knocking out content and you improve naturally over time.
You should try to improve, right? Not expect it to get better, but make a conscious effort to do the best you can. Obviously, actually, like if you want to be successful, you gotta put some work into it.
I think make the content that you like making. That's always been my theory. Play the formats you want to play or the games you want to play. Like, don't feel like you gotta necessarily do what everyone else is doing, and try to find your own niche that you enjoy, and you're gonna be happier, and your audience, I think, is gonna be happier too.
I mean, yeah, like there's one thing that's known about me. It doesn't matter. I will always play Blue Black X, right? So yeah, just play what you love, and I think that's the best way to go about it. And then worry about everything else afterwards. Just have fun, and as long as you're like visibly having fun, and like, you know, genuinely enjoying it, your audience and your viewership will too.
People say, unless it's alchemy, don't play. Don't play what you enjoy if it's alchemy.
So ironically, like you should play. So if you enjoy alchemy, you should make alchemy content, and you're gonna get downloaded to oblivion. But if and when Wizards fixes alchemy, you are suddenly in the pole position, right? Like that's the theory. But of course, they may never fix it, and then you may go nowhere, right? But I think it's much better if you actually enjoy alchemy to play it than to say play Commander, which maybe you detest, right? Because Commander is the most popular thing, right? Because I think the numbers will look bad, your audience will look sketch, and you'll suffer. But as long as you're having fun, you have something, right? But if you're not having fun and all the numbers are bad, then you have nothing and you'll quit, right? So I think it is kind of important to do what you like, but that does not guarantee success, right? That just guarantees that you'll continue doing it for some amount of time, right? And hopefully that amount of time allows you to get some success.
Alchemy is fun, by the way. It's just the economy sucks.
Yeah, if everybody would have all these alchemy cards, it probably wouldn't be a problem, right? Like they would sort of say, yeah, I can play with these cards if I want to. But the fact that Wizards forces this down everybody's throat, but then said, "Oh, you gotta craft all these rares. They're all rares. You gotta craft them."
These
but it's also
cards
the
are still playable. What do you mean you want a refund?
it drives me insane. Oh, okay.
Heiko Cross, do you remember the moment that made you saltiest in Commander Clash?
Real salt?
I don't really get salty.
I know.
Real salt. I mean, real salt, right? Not pretend
event.
salt. Like real salt.
I don't know if I've ever been salty on Commander Clash. Not like really salty.
Wait, what about when
maybe
Vince,
there's a time
Vince
that...
blew up all your lands? The first time.
The first, yeah, because that always happens.
Big fan. Sorry,
Wait.
I nerded it out.
Did that happen? Maybe. I don't know. Have I ever been salty?
Because that point, I remember, like, I think I watched the video because Vince had mentioned it, and it was just like, oh, Vince, come on, Vince.
Yeah, okay, maybe that.
But I don't actually know when I've been salty. Like I joke, like, I mean, I guess, like, I hate my green cards, so I guess I'm just, you know what? That's my secret, Cap. I'm always salty when I see somebody rampant growth. I don't know. I don't actually know when I've been genuinely salty though, like to the point outside of just my dislike of green.
Yeah, this one's tough. Like I don't typically get that salty. I'm sure there's salty moments in Clash, but they don't really register for me, so I've probably forgotten them. But I think the saltiest I get is when I spend a lot of time on a deck and then it doesn't go the way I expected, either because, like, you know, I didn't build it right, or, you know, whatever game, or like someone did something in game, but I'm like, I just spent like 4 hours on this deck and like didn't show any cards, right? I'm like very upset, right? But I think that is more upset than like actually any in-game action. Like I don't get salty in Commander. Like I do get salty playing League of Legends. I get so salty that I stop playing. So it's not like I'm like somehow like not like a salty person.
Uninstalled.
Yeah, like, but I don't get salty playing Magic. Even like 1v1 Magic, I normally don't get salty. Like opponent like top decks like a 1 in 55 chance of winning and they win. I'm like, all right, you won. I don't get salty. Too many years of being battered down by RNG, I guess, with Magic. I don't get salty at those things.
I think the only game to ever make me salty is Hearthstone. Like genuinely salty is Hearthstone.
Randomness.
Don't like.
I mean, but I loved it though. It was just like this toxic relationship that I had with it. I loved it, but I hated it.
Anytime I got salty in Hearthstone, I just played Priest Control, or whenever Priest Control was a thing. I was like, yes, now I will make you the salty one. Yes, mind control your creatures. Mill you out. Great.
Tomer, what are you doing playing creatures? I never had any.
No, you mind control them. You take their creatures.
No, I know, but like if someone mind controls you, that means you have creatures. Just win the Frost Mage way, Alex Straza.
No,
set their life to 15 and fire.
I liked Tempo Mage back when that was a thing.
Tempo Mage was pretty fun. Yeah, see, so like I don't know. I mean, I don't know of any games that made me like outside of Hearthstone. I think that's the only one that made me truly salty.
I definitely got salty. I think it was not this season, not the movie before because I wasn't in it. The one before that though, I felt like I just never had a chance to pop off ever. So I don't get salty after an individual game, but it felt like an entire season of not getting to pop off ever kind of wore me down. Like it wasn't like one episode; it was just kind of like the entirety of it. So taking a break actually kind of was really nice for me. And then when I got back, I mean, I haven't had any issues whatsoever. It's been super fun again. So maybe it was just like I needed one season off because we have been doing this for 6 or more years. So
and you would never,
and I've never had a season off. So I think taking a season off was really helpful for me. Yeah,
everyone else had taken seasons off at various points, but you were the one that had always stayed on. So.
Yeah,
getting a break had to be is probably healthy, I think.
Or getting fired.
It was the first time I ever went off. So people were like, "Did Tomer get fired from Commander class?" I was like, "No, we're supposed to all rotate. I just never rotated before. It's fine." The Mana Curve Commandeer Strip Mine was not salty for me. I thought it was. I mean, like
that's
obviously
just funny at this point.
Yeah, it was shocking. I would say shocking is the word, but it wasn't salt-inducing. I think it was a good moment, honestly. I wasn't salty about it. I would have done it.
If it happened every game, I'm sure it would be salt-inducing. But once in a while, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, if you were doing that every single game, and that was like who can commandeer strip mine Tomer every single game, I don't want to give Krim ideas. That's the problem. It's like Krim is here.
No,
right?
no.
He's like writing all this stuff down. You know, like
taking notes. No. Like the thing about that stuff is I don't know. I find gotcha things like that just so funny. So when people gotcha me, I also think it's hilarious, right? So I think that's why I because of the cards I like and the little combat tricks and the gotchas and the gimmicks, I love it when it happens to me. I just celebrate it when it happens. Because it's funny. Like, I mean, it's like Richard opposition agent in me, and I was like, oh man, but God, that's so good.
Yeah. Krim is really unsaltable, right? Whenever, you can cast Blatant Thievery, and he is just gonna say, "Oh, that's such a sweet card." And I'm probably the same, although I sometimes get frustrated, just like Richard said, when I played Mono White Cathilda, which is already it's like focused on attacking with her, so it's not really my style of Enchantress deck. But then I didn't draw any lands and didn't play anything, and then I just sat there. I guess you could call that salt, but it's more like frustration about just randomness, like salt about people. I mean, I play Blatant Thievery. I'm not the one to be salty.
You want to pop off, right? Like that's the whole thing. Is every once in a while you sit down in a game hoping that you could pop off. So if you don't get the pop off, then it's kind of disappointing. But
I never pop off. What are you talking about?
But popping off is like getting people tilted at you, and then...
Staying alive is popping off for Chris.
Yeah,
I'm still here.
I'm alive.
Every turn he survives is another turn he pops off. Turn 1, I'm still alive.
GB, what is your favorite standard set for whatever reason?
Like standard environment or like standard legal set?
I assume standard legal set.
I assume like I assume like standard environment, right?
Oh, standard environment.
Like Wolf the Spark standards, for example, or something.
Unless we're talking about how Eldrin was great for Commander. It's weird.
I think if we're going off of like the best standard environment, it's got to easily be Skull Clown. I'm just kidding. It's probably it's not far off from that. I actually really liked Cobblade standard. I know that I know this has a weird.
There's got to be a Grim troll. There's no way.
I'm not trolling, dude. Because okay, hear me out. The mirror matches, which is what you mostly played, and the one brave person that didn't play Cobblade, right? There was actually lots of like minor plays and ways to outplay your opponent, right? And this was back when I was spikier, right? So nothing made me salivate and feel like my brain was bigger than outplaying my opponent, right? And in every step of the way, whether it's like when to crack a fetch, when to like get birds and stuff like that. Like, oh god, I loved Cobblade. Like it was so much fun. And then the variants between blue white, Jess Ka, and then of course Esper to get the hand disruption. Like there were so many things that were going on, and I know that on the surface level, on paper, it looks like, oh, Jace Stoneforge. Yeah, okay, how cool is that? But there's a lot of play when you put the cards into action.
I guess. Very diverse format.
I mean, a lot of trolls said they really enjoyed Cobblade era, right? Like,
it's not diverse.
It was very skill intensive.
If you love blue control, like that is where you're at.
And then after would be cons.
I was gonna say cons actually. I enjoyed con standard a lot. Like that was the opposite of Cobblade, where it was super diverse and like every month there's a different deck that would like come to the top of the metagame. There were tons of different color combinations, and I'm hoping that maybe we get back to something like that with New Capenna. Like I think the 3-color like shard sets,
yes,
I don't know, tend to lead to good standard. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that maybe we're heading back that direction.
For me, it's Shadows over Innistrad, I think. The one that I remember most fondly, because I love Tireless Tracker. I just built countless decks around Tireless Tracker. I think the one with Origins as well in it, like before rotation, where I think I played a Simic deck that played, I think, is it called Mana Gorge or either? The one that whenever you cast a spell, it gains a counter. This and Tireless Tracker as the payoffs, and then counter and protection spells. Was like, for some reason, that was a pretty cool deck, I remember. And then I had a all these clue synergies with like improvise later. Like all these standard sets that had tireless tracker in them were like, you could just play any deck as long as it contains. Should be. Like just if I play only one card, it's probably tireless tracker. If I would create a signature card like the invitational cards, it's tireless tracker, but I have to erase tireless tracker from everybody's memory so it doesn't look like I just made the same card that already exists. But yeah, that's my favorite card. And standard with it. Whew. Love it.
Things Phil would do with the Infinity Gauntlet.
I didn't play that much standard ever, but when I got back into Magic after a long hiatus, it was when original Innistrad came out. And my favorite, it was the only standard set that I wanted to play because I was really excited about it, was Scars of Mirrodin Innistrad standard. That was the heyday of when Snapcaster tempo games or Delver Snapcaster were standard legal with Ponder and everything. So the deck was a little bit OP. It got some nerfs, but it was still a lot of fun. But my all-time favorite deck was one based on Haven Ghoul Lich and an enchantment that like said your creature costs 2 less to cast.
Heartless Summoning.
Heartless Summoning. It was a Heartless Summoning deck. And the deck was actually like legit pretty darn good. And I loved playing it. I played it so much. But the deck kind of fell apart as soon as Ponder rotated. When Ponder rotated, you could no longer like get those turn 2 Heartless Summonings that you really need for the deck to be decent. And the deck kind of fell apart. And then I wanted to play more Delver, but Ponder was gone, so Delver got a lot worse. And then they printed Thragtusk. And I was like, why? You already banned a bunch of stuff from Snapcaster. Ponder's gone, and then you have to Thragtusk me? Really? Thragtusk me? It hurt. I never played Standard again.
Thragtusk was a good card at a point.
Tom and I are so similar. I don't understand. Like my favorite is Innistrad Standard, and like the Titans. Give me things that finish the game, please. And like there were so many powerful cards, and they were like almost kind of balanced. You could play Titans.
Mana Leak was legal,
except blue, right? But even blue had a purpose, and Snapcaster and stuff.
I hated stupid Cavern of Souls with Titans in the same standard set. That was the most obnoxious. Like, let me counter your 6-drop, please.
Grave Titan's one of my favorite cards. I put him in Jund sometimes just for the memes.
I put Cavern in my sideboard of my Esper deck just so I can for sure resolve Notion Thief. I think when that.
All right. Question. Oh, which decks were the hardest for people to build by Puffin Forest?
Wait, what was the question?
Which decks were the hardest for people to build, for us to build?
Hardest to build.
Oh, I think any theme deck, right? For me.
Yeah.
Any theme deck, because you really forgo like functionality, you forgo like how good it actually is, and you just try to go full flavor.
Yeah, like usually when I have theme decks, it's like I underestimate the amounts of references I find, and then I have to make cuts from this deck, but then I have to make cuts considering like I have to play with the deck, but also gotta keep in the sweetest references. That's so difficult to get like a good balance in a like playable deck and keep the cool references. Yeah, the theme decks are the hardest ones.
There's not a good way to find like art stuff. Like that's the main challenge I find with the theme decks is like if you're trying to get a character from a TV show or something like that, you're kind of just like browsing through 20,000, 30,000 Magic cards and trying to like find something that fits your purpose. When if you're building like a real non-theme deck, it's pretty like what mana rocks are good, what removal is good. Like those are relatively easy to build. So I definitely agree too that theme decks are the most time consuming and challenging to build.
And the hardest part is also like for me to like try to justify how Opposition Agent works in the theme. I think that's the hardest one. I sit like that's the one where I sit in that tank.
Which anime villain is this in your deck?
How do I make this themed.
Yeah, I think theme decks. Scryfall has an art searching functionality that makes things slightly easier. You can also try to find like MTG salvation threads and stuff to help you out. But for me, like building a non-white deck is actually exceptionally hard nowadays. Like I don't know, like when I'm in a Rakdos deck, I'm like, these colors suck. I can't do anything here. Like, how do you find removal?
Can't do anything in Rakdos.
Well,
I can't find
I'm so
removal in the
spoiled by
colors with the
white
best
now that
removal.
it's really hard for me to build non-white decks. So, but I try to do it just to not be weird and only play white all the time. But it's exceptionally hard. I would 100% rather just build a theme deck.
Yeah, it's also kind of a shame that like we like if you go to the deck list for the theme weeks, we will have like a freaking essay in the deck description, but like 90% of people are never going to see it. So like that's why we take so long like explaining every single reference when we play, because like we spent so much time and like we love these decks and we love doing them, but like we spend so much time, so we want to make sure that like that gets across. But if you go back and you look at the actual deck lists, you'll find in the deck descriptions like. I know whenever Richard has it, he like also organizes it beautifully. Like he'll have his headers and he'll bold, like he'll format it really nice and stuff, so you can actually read through it nicely. Like he goes all the distance, but like that takes time. Like regular decks is like we've built like hundreds, at least over like 200 decks each. So like,
good
like,
question.
Easy.
How long does it take you guys to build like a random Commander Clash deck? Like no special theme, just like. Kamigawa, Neon Dynasty comes out, you gotta build a deck. How long does it take?
Not that long anymore, right? Now it's just like, okay, I know it's the hardest thing is just figuring out what theme I want to go with. Once you figure out the theme and you play Commander long enough, you kind of just know what cards go with that theme. Unless, of course, you're a Birdmaster tribal or something, or skeleton tribal. Like if I know I'm gonna build like, okay, this is a sweet ninja commander, then I already know what I'm doing. So I guess in my wheelhouse of blue black X, I'll usually know what I'm doing. But the hardest part is figuring out the theme. So probably like an hour, maybe 2 hours tops.
Yeah, I think it's often less than an hour for me, I would say normally, because like you reuse a lot of the same things. If you think about a commander deck, like you play the same mana rocks, you play the same removal, you play the same sweepers, so you're really only adding like 30 cards that are like unique, 40 cards that are unique. So I actually think that, I mean, it depends on the deck to some extent, but a lot of them come together pretty quickly because you go with like Tomer's checklist or whatever, and like you go through that checklist and you're kind of using the same things every time. I definitely think that deciding on the theme or the direction is often like the most time consuming part, or maybe you start building in one direction and then you decide halfway through like, maybe I'm going to switch and go in this other direction. That's the part that takes the most time for me. Like the actual card selection process usually isn't super time consuming, but the stops and restarts and figuring out what direction to go, that can take a while.
I take so long. Maybe it's because I'm not used to building commander decks. But I do have some staples that I play. Like if I play blue, there's some cards that are in this deck. But it's probably like an hour to 2 hours to throw in the cards and do some research on what other people have played in these. But cutting cards is like, I'm super bad. Even in limited, I'm bad at cutting cards. So I spent most of my time not really actively building the deck, but just having the deck list here and then sometimes looking at it and saying, get rid of this card. And then slowly over time going down to 100 cards. Like the card cutting is the one that gets me the most. Maybe it's because I don't play that much, didn't play that much Commander yet, and I want to play all these sweet cards that I've never played. And for you, it's like, I know I have played all these cards. I don't want to play them. But if it's like, I don't know, if there's a lot of cards that I just want to include, even though they're not good, and then I have to cut cards that are actually good, but I don't want to cut them because they're good, and then it's the cutting that takes the time for me. But usually I stretches out over. I try to build it days before the clash, so I have time to just sometimes look at the deck list and think, maybe I goldfish it on MTGO, and then find out that stuff doesn't work as I expect or something, and then get some easy cuts there. Cutting cards. Cutting cards just feels so. All these
It definitely took me a lot longer in the past.
I think like for me, it's just like it's a half an hour if I just want to get a thing out quick, and then I take like an hour if I want to like really customize it. You know, like Seth said, like there's a lot of cards you could just like, all right, this is a Simic deck, and you just throw in all the Simic cards, and you have like 30 slots or whatever. But if I really want to go deep, then I'll be like, okay, now I want to customize the ramp, and I want to customize the card draw, so it's more thematic. And that will be that extra half hour. Or like if I'm building a $50 deck as opposed to like a budgetless deck, then, you know, I'll start making a lot of cuts and replacements there. And that's going to be that extra, that's going to be that hour mark instead of half an hour. But like I've made so many decks at this point that it's like very like automatic to me.
Don't you browse through EDH Rec at least just to check what other people have been playing, or do you just wing it? Like there's always cards that I've never seen for some commanders.
I actually use a Scryfall for what I want now. And then I check at EDH Rec if there's any gems that I missed.
Yeah, I check on EDH Rec for gems, and then use keywords on with my game plan on Scryfall. But that's already an hour of work. Maybe it's just me.
Oh, really?
Phil's slow because he's new. I think
probably. Yeah.
Like I bet you a lot of people
I
in
can
chat
rip a deck in
also
15 minutes
forever.
if we needed.
Yeah.
Right? Because
you play the same deck every time.
Like exactly, right? This is indicative of how bad the format is, right? Like no matter what colors you're playing, like a third of your deck is lands. That's always the same, basically, right? And then of the remaining cards, like it's roughly the same mana base, right? Your utility lands might switch a bit, right? But the next 40 cards are like probably staples, right? Like removal, card draw, whatever. And then you have maybe 20 cards for your actual theme that, you know, you highly synergize with. This is where you go EDH Rec, make sure you're not missing any of them. And then now you can take a look at your deck to be like, okay, I have, you know, a generic removal spell. Is there a removal spell that synergizes more with my commander, right? And you can look for that. But the answer is usually no, right? Like the staples you play are usually like, is there something better than Swords to Plowshares? No. Okay. Is there something better than Rhystic Study? No. Okay, right? So like usually, I don't know, the staples are so strong now that you don't even have to do that, right? And especially me, if I play like a jank tribal deck, it's so easy, right? I take the 30 creatures from the tribe, throw in the remaining staples, and then the deck is done, right? So like, it gets easier to build over time, and since cards are so powerful now, like you just roughly play the same cards, right? Especially if you have multiple archetypes in mind, right? Like all Voltron decks kind of look the same. All Spellslinger decks kind of look the same, right? So
yeah. You guys have like presets, like empty or like pre-filled MTGO deck list with a mana base and staples inside, like this is my mono blue commander, and then I already got Blatant Thievery, and like
I don't have it like an actual preset, but it's kind of just in my head. Like if you wanted to watch me build a commander deck right now, I could probably just hop on Moto and drag like 50, 60, 70 blue cards for a mono blue deck in there in like 30 seconds that I know I'm going to play. And then, so it's not like a physical preset like on Photoshop or something, but kind of like that's kind of how I think of building a commander deck is in that way.
That's something I thought of doing, but then it's like, yeah, there's a lot of color combinations and you have to that's a lot of work in itself. So I didn't do it yet, but I always thought, yeah, having presets and like updating them could be cool.
I think the fastest for me is just having a checklist, because the cutting part is actually the least time efficient of the entire process. And that's why I have a checklist, because like I want to make sure that I just add cards based on what I need in the deck. And then I almost never go over by like more than 5 cards. And
I go
just cutting
over
5
by
cards is super
easy.
Something. Because like for my checklist, for example, I'll be like, I want 36 lands. So I put in my 36 lands. It's boring, but you get it done. You add some, you know, flavorful thematic cards. And then I'm like, all right, I want 13 ramp cards. I put in my 13 ramp cards. And then I'm like, all right, I need 10 card draw, put in my 10 card draw. And then go on, and then you hit like 100 cards. You add a couple spice cards in there. You're at 105. You cut, you know, some cards based on that, and you're good. But like if you're at 100, like whenever I get to like 150 cards and I don't use a checklist and I have 150 cards, I'm like, okay, how do I get down to 100? Well, I need to figure out how much ramp do I have? Do I have over like 15 ramp cards, because then I need to cut those and I have to count those and I have to categorize all the spells already in there, and that like doubles the time. So I feel like working your way up to make sure that you don't go over the cut zone actually saves you like the most amount of time possible. Just as a tip for the chat.
Nah, but then you might miss some gems. Maybe you didn't realize how nice this card fits with the rest of the deck if you didn't see it in the deck pile. I don't want.
I never have more. I never have more than 100 cards in my deck. Maybe like 101 or 102, but like
I'm always at like 130.
Do you really? I never.
I
never get to that
cut
point.
them all off.
Interesting.
I put all the theme cards in, and usually there's more theme cards, right? And then now you got to choose like which theme cards to cut. But the cutting is usually pretty fast. At least for me, I'm like, okay, this 8-mana 3/3 probably isn't needed, so we'll take that one out, right? And you just start cutting it down to the good theme cards. But I tend to go over.
Interesting.
I'm well over.
When I'm adding a theme card, I categorize it. It's like I need 10 ramp cards, so I add like 5 staples and I add 5 themed cards or whatever. And that's how I build my decks. Is I always build them category by category. Whatever. The point is, the more you play it, even the more you do it, the easier it gets. That's how it gets. That's how it goes, I guess.
I mean, it's definitely faster than in the beginning. I remember when I started, I always asked Toma for help, and now I'm building them on my own for quite some time, and it's probably faster than in the beginning. In the beginning, it was, oh my, it was so hard to cut cards and
it's definitely
find
staples. For
staples.
a beginner, when you don't have like that card pool knowledge, it's like. Oh.
Plus, there's so many cards you want to play, Phil.
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
yes.
Whereas they're like, I already played this card.
Yeah, it's like, Tatyova. I've seen Tatyova. I've played Tatyova. I played Tatyova. It's a very fun card, but it's like I don't need to. I've already experienced it. You haven't, right? So that's.
I mean, how many commanders have we played at this point? There's not an infinite number of legends. There's not an infinite number of legends. One of my challenges now building a deck is if we have like anything goes week and I want to play something I haven't played, the hard part's like finding something that I haven't played that's interesting sometimes, so to not be reusing the same commanders I've already done, because we've just like done so many episodes now. And sometimes I wrap back around and do a different version of a commander I've already played before, but I feel like between everyone on Commander Clash, we've probably played definitely more than half the legends in existence. And probably like a very high percent of like the heavily played ones if you discount the random commons and uncommons. So
the spell table, the quickies and the streams have helped me kind of re-energize me over the years, because like people will bring like these weird, like, so the quickie that went up this week, if you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. Somebody played Kentaro Mono White Samurai, and the title kind of gave it away. He destroyed us. And I mean, I've never seen Kentaro at the table before. I've never seen Mono White Samurai. Actually, I have seen Mono White Samurai, but it was like they were trying to play like a legit samurai deck, and it wasn't good. But this one was actually good, and it was using Kentaro in a very cool way, using actual samurai cards in a very cool way, and it was very effective. And I was like, wow, I'm going to put this on my bucket list for like viewer submitted, or anything goes or something like that, like, so playing with other people kind of helped to re-energize me in that regard. But
actually the exact opposite for me. Every time I go into the casual room, I see like the staples of the format. It's like, oh look, it's a Traxa, and here's Gitrog Monster, and here's whatever, right? Like very few people actually play spicy decks. So when I'm playing in the EDH rooms, I feel like I'm experiencing normal Commander, where everyone plays like really strong popular commanders. Like basically it looks like whatever the EDH rec ranking list is. So, and then I'm there playing Fledging Osprey, and they're like, oh.
I think it's more just the people who come onto the show are more inclined to play those decks, because like if you go to a random table, or if I'm invited to somebody's stream or something, it's usually the top 10 hit list of commanders, which is not bad, but like the cool thing about having people come specifically for the stream or whatever, it seems like the people who want to be on the show have a lot of weirdly spicy stuff. Yeah. And yes, it was featured on Spicy Rock, but the deck was actually made like way before that video, which was also cool. I haven't seen the Spicy Rock one.
GB with a super chat for 5. Non-MTG question. What shows are you streaming now?
I started watching Letterkenny for the first time recently. It was pretty funny.
What's it called?
Letterkenny.
Letterkenny. You ever never watched Letterkenny? It's a Hulu.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
This is a season like no other.
I'm watching too many. There's Kotaru.
Are we counting the animes?
Yeah, if we're counting anime, then I'm watching.
Hit me with a non-anime. Hit me with a non-anime. Or no, hit me with one anime and one non-anime.
The most recent thing I watched that was anime was Kotaro Lives Alone, and My Dress Up Darling, and then live action. I think the last thing I watched was probably. Jeez, when is the last thing I watched? Something that wasn't animated. Oh, Hawkeye. And I'm waiting for Moon Knight. So, all the Marvel shows. Hawkeye was like, what? Like, that was like Christmas.
Forever ago. Yeah. Okay. Kim only watches the anime.
You might be right. Holy crap.
I feel like I watched Hawkeye a really long time ago. I don't know the exact time, but...
I'm always bad with these with pop culture questions. Like, I listen to a lot of music, but then if you ask me, like, what the band you listened to before, and it's like, I don't know. I just, whatever Spotify told me to listen to. It's hard for me to do it on the spot. I don't know what TV show I last watched. I've been watching a lot of StarCraft too. I watch movies. I like movies.
Is GSL still a thing, Tomer? Did they
yes.
hold that?
Yes.
Remembered what I watched last.
Also, the GSL champions, I want you to know, the Korean GSL champions got destroyed by some Europeans. A Dutch prodigy, Cyril, is currently the best. I think he's the winningest StarCraft player. So
what race?
Finally,
what race does he play?
Over a decade, Zerg.
I'll watch this.
Actually, the best foreigners is Raynor and Cyril or Zerg. And then the other one that is the best is probably Clem, who's Terran, but he's not as good as Cyril. He's Finnish? Oh, no, he's Finnish. I'm sorry. I thought he was Dutch.
All right, Phil, do you watch TV?
No, TV, not at all. I don't even think we receive any public TV stuff from here. We just use it for...
They're streaming, Phil. It doesn't have to be literal.
Yeah, streaming.
Literal TV.
I did watch the newest Rick and Morty season now that it's on Netflix. Otherwise, I only watch YouTube. Like, look at all the content that is on there. I watch a ridiculous amount of nature documentaries, if that counts, on YouTube. But it's like all the ancient seas and sea monsters. Oh yes, deep sea stuff. Oh hell yeah! But no shows or something.
Wait, you don't watch like the BBC documentaries on nature and stuff with David Attenborough and such? Like Earth and deep.
Yeah, I watched these. Yeah, I did watch these on Netflix. Yeah, but it's quite some time ago. No, it's like
those are old.
It's all. YouTube just offers so much free content, and I'm already here. I don't need to go to Netflix. You can watch Netflix on a PC actually. I don't know. I don't really watch anything. I don't watch movies as well. I can't remember the last time I watched a movie actually. It's kind of weird since I'm like, you would expect it for somebody who does movie stuff, like cinematic stuff as his job, but I can't remember the last time I watched any movie. I like him when I see him, but I just don't watch him. Yeah.
Foreign cinema. I think that's the way to go. Outside of Marvel, foreign cinema. Like
I start watching really weird movies I would never watch in the past. Like, not weird, but like, what's that Netflix, like The Power of Dog or whatever? It's like so slow, but I'm like, oh, it's so interesting now. And like 5 years ago, I would never believe it that I would watch this and like enjoy it. So like my taste has changed in movies over the year. I was all about like the Marvel movies and stuff like that. Now I'm like, this like slow 5-hour artsy movie. I'm like, great.
Now that you've become a father, it's all changed.
This
so fast.
is cinema.
Yeah.
I think it's something along the lines of like you've seen it all, like I don't know, like you've seen all the action movies or something, and they're all kind of the same. So now you're looking for something different. But this is too artsy for me. I don't know what's going on.
I think that was my main complaint with Marvel. I just don't watch Marvel anymore. I can't get psyched for it anymore. I'm just like no more.
Oh, speaking of Marvel,
no more laser parts.
I'm perpetually stoked.
Did that last Marvel movie suck? Not the Spider-Man one, the one with
Eternals.
Eternals. That
Eternals.
was like
Yeah,
horrendous.
Eternals was bad.
No,
Eternals.
What happened?
I've never fallen asleep
that was the first...
in a movie before, but I actually fell asleep to Eternals.
Yeah, that was the first like terrible Marvel movie in a really long time. Like, what happened?
It was a really good sleep though. The
last bad movie for me was the Hulk with Edward Norton. So, or actually, because even Thor 2, though bad, was like, I guess I could watch it, right? But like Eternals was just not watchable. But yeah, so like, oh my god, foreign cinema. I think that's the way to go. If you want to watch anything, like there's a show on Netflix, All of Us Are Dead. It's a Korean zombie film or zombie show. Lots of Korean films have also been really good, like Parasite.
Parasite.
Foreign.
This one, yeah.
Have you seen Train to Busan?
Yeah.
If you liked zombies,
Train to Busan's great.
Yeah.
They even have #Alive. They have all these other ones. Like they have so many good shows and movies.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, foreign to the U.S. So Korean cinema, Korean cinema,
in Europe,
like
Canada even.
Yeah.
I don't know. My favorite movies are still probably Naked Gun. It's just untouchable. There's nothing.
Wait, how
ever
could
gonna
you?
be like
Are you too young to watch Naked Gun?
I don't
You must
care.
have watched it when it was like super old.
When I was a
Naked Gun,
child, it was
came out
like
in the 80s,
mind-blowingly
right?
funny, and now it's like it's just.
I think
It's
all of us
just
were too young
slapstick,
for
but
Naked
Yeah,
Gun.
isn't that like
Yeah.
I feel like it's
Richard, you're
80s
probably like
before.
5.
I don't
Yeah,
care.
but I can watch it on
still
syndication on TV or something. I'm like, how would you like? How could you watch
I've
it?
seen it.
Why would I
Maybe-
not?
maybe
It's
the
still,
sequel.
It's still hilarious. There's 3 sequels first of all. Then there's a whole TV show like Naked Pistol or something.
Phil knows a lot about Naked Gun.
Oh, I love
Wait,
Leslie.
I didn't know
Everything
any of
Have you
that.
Leslie
ever been to
Nielsen is
Turkish
like.
prison, Phil?
No. I like everything Leslie Nielsen did is just.
He is pretty
Rest in
funny.
peace.
Yeah.
That was just such clean comedy. Otherwise, yeah, mostly comedy for me. But I don't remember the last time. I think I watched Squid Game. I think that was the last show I watched, except for like animated
Korean
stuff.
I
cinema.
watched it too. I
Yeah.
thought it was okay.
Pretty good.
It
It was pretty cool in the beginning, but then it got a bit weird.
I mean, I thought it was good, but it was definitely overhyped. Like, no matter how good it was overhyped. Like, the amount of hype that had was like absurd. There's no way it could live up to the amount of hype.
Why is this like the most popular thing ever?
But I really liked it. Like, I enjoyed the entire series of it. So it's not that it was bad, but just wow. I don't remember what was the last show before that was that hype, like the end of Breaking Bad or something, where just like
Tiger King.
everyone was talking about. I
Remember
guess Tiger
King. That was early pandemic time.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Again, also not height of cinema or anything. It was just popular. Do we have any more questions? I think we're winding down, I believe.
How long is this AMA going on for, Tomer?
I think we're good. I don't know. We covered basically everything. Let's wrap it up. Yeah. All right. We answered basically almost 3 hours worth of questions. Thank you so much for not only the questions, but also for, coming by, saying hi, and also, most importantly, the fact that you all here, the viewers, are the reasons why we're celebrating this. Like, we got 50K because you all watch our content and supported us and everything. So big shout out to you. That's the main thing, is a celebration of the people who got us here, and that's you all. So thank you sincerely. Thank you everybody who watched and followed and supported us throughout the years. Hopefully we will hit that 100K and we'll be back here with another AMA or something, or Phil does the Fortnite dance or something when we go for that. We'll have goals. And
you need a Phil dancing montage.
Yes, that's happening. We're writing it down.
I've concluded all Europeans can dance. That's why. This is my conclusion.
Yeah, done. So yeah, and we do have some stuff that we're going to be announcing soonish. We don't have stuff ready yet, but just to say that there's going to be some cool things coming soon that we're really excited to talk about. We can't talk about just yet. But yeah, thanks again to everybody who stopped by. Big shout out to everybody who supered and all that stuff. That was really great too. And until next time, friends, see ya.